This is a warning to all living mortals, that who shall ever open this chest of demons will release 13 of the most terrifying ghosts upon the face of the earth. Okay, cut it. This isn't going to work. Let's try some nostalgia bait.
It's finally strange. You looking at the leaving rain. I can't settle in bed. Or have you picked your target yet? It's ending. Don't your dog bite? It's ending.
Okay, that was better. But let's try something a bit more cinematic.
Hey, where my broken arrows at? They try to tell us we can't fly. Like we too broken or something. I mean, I'd rather let them know. Balls up. Hold up. My squad about to roll up. Hold up. My squad about to roll up. Get them balls up. Get them balls up. Get them balls up. Get them balls up. Hold up. My squad about to roll up. Hold up. My squad about to roll up. All the way up. Get them balls 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 all the way up. Broken arrows get bows up. Sometimes I pray with my nose up. Thinking about when the world crumbles and my whole squad just goes up. Whoa. Ain't gotta worry, we straight like an arrow, yeah. Ain't gotta worry about faith, nope. I'm on that straight and the narrow, yeah. I just go straight like an arrow, yeah.
Yeah, that's the shit I like. Let's start the Barroom podcast. Take it away, Jacob.
Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? We're here for episode 163 of the Barroom podcast, and I'm joined here today with Cider.
Hello, I am a Gatorade addict.
Yes, we can tell that. Not Bang Energy, Gatorade, really?
Gatorade. I have become comfortably Gatorade.
Well, that's disappointing. I mean, figure Bang Energy, Monster, maybe Coors Light, something we can actually make.
But it hydrates. It hydrates more than water. It says it right on the side. It says hydrate, replenish,
It's actually big.
Hydrates better than water.
It's literally a bunch of sugary bullshit. That's what it is. That's what it should say on the label. Just big glob of sugary bull crap.
Oh.
I actually have something that's far better for hydration. However, I don't have a bottle in hand sight.
Is that Four Loko?
No, it's one of those things that actually works and doesn't kill you. But I don't have one in plain sight. I'll get it to you later on here. But yeah.
You're gonna get it to me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, apparently we've all been Gatorated here on this show, but let's just go ahead and introduce our folks in the chat and get this show rolling. Neozoic is here saying howdy. He has a question for us here. We have it says, which film would you rather watch influenced by the pioneers of the giant kaiju monster genre, King Kong or Godzilla? I've said this many times before, but I like Godzilla far more than I like King Kong. I thought the whole idea of Kong versus Godzilla was stupid to begin with, because Godzilla is literally a radioactive bio lizard that shoots freaking lasers out of his mouth. What is Kong supposed to do against that?
And Kong, like, his greatest rival was gravity. Meanwhile, in Godzilla 1954, they're shooting like laser tanks at him, and like planes are dropping bombs on him and stuff. And meanwhile, in King Kong, they're just like, "Hey, get off that building, you big ape! Hey, get down!"
It's literally bio lizard versus monkey. That's literally what it is.
Monkey.
Big monkey. Eddie, what do you do? What do you prefer, Kong or Godzilla?
I like Kong just because one, he has a kid, like before Godzilla, and I don't know. I like Mecha Kong a lot more. I like the Mecha versions of stuff. Mecha Godzilla, Mecha Kong. I thought those were really cool.
And also, by the way, Eddie Brock joining us here tonight. Show, how's it going, Eddie?
Yeah, I'm all right. Honestly, I just woke up from a nap. Totally forgot about this, so I'll be ready. I'll
nap.
The corner slipping.
It's like 5 in the afternoon. Who takes naps on a Tuesday?
Dude, I love naps. That's arguably one of the best things about being alive right now.
Sleeping. Closest thing you can get to death while being alive. Yeah, how awesome. God was like, gotcha.
Hi, everybody.
Do any of you guys have a favorite giant monster movie? Is there a favorite giant monster wrecking stuff film that you can point to? Be like, I like that movie.
I don't know if this counts, but remember Eight-Legged Freaks?
Yeah, there's a giant.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good movie.
If I'm gonna be honest, like I like the one about the giant bunny rabbits that are just kind of quietly, gently wreaking havoc on a very tiny town. It's Night of the Lemus or something like that.
Oh,
they're just something like that, and they're just rabbits. They're just and they put them on like a miniature set, and when they knock over things, they make it explode, and it just the rabbit's like, oh fuck, everything's on fire, and it'll hop away from it. So it's like rabbits just being rabbit, but meanwhile they're like kabloom, and like all the screamings in the background, they superimpose people running away from it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is terrible. I love it.
Yep. I guess if I have to go with a giant kaiju movie, my favorite movie would be Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. I don't think there's anything better than that.
Shit!
Yeah, that's good too.
That's where that fetish came from. I get it now. Because it was in the
children.
Dude, Where's My Car movie, and I was like, that is an oddly specific reference. Don't you remember that in the Honey, I Blew Up the Kids? The mom got giant, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I want that to be my mom." And that was clearly like the "I'd like to have sex with that giant woman" joke. And then in Dude, Where's My Car? The same camera angle was used as that character just stepped over the top of the father and son. He's like, "I want to ride that ride." The father's like, "Me too, son." Dude,
I haven't watched that movie legitimately probably about 25 to 30 years. So
I would recommend that you hang out with a stoner friend just so you get like
no.
Not
Dude, Where's My Car? I'm talking about Honey, I Blew Up the Kid.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, why the fuck are you watching it like now? Like
Make sure to hang out with your stoner friend and watch Honey, I Blew Up the Kid.
Exactly.
Yeah, well,
make sure you get your Doritos and Mountain Dew ready when you go.
It'll be one hell of a movie review, I'll tell you.
Who else we got here? Vanya, Leslie Tarkin. I saw you. Saw Beautiful joining us here. Neozoic, Kurt over on our Rumble side of things as well. I see you. I see Dr. Sleep here as well. Kurt's watching last week. He's gonna watch last week's show on Rumble as well. We got Terminator Joe, JT Prime joining us here. Maurice Johnson. Water hydrates you apparently. Yeah, but if
you're in Gatorade.
If you're severe, yeah, right.
Isn't that Squirtle?
I would love to have drinking like Gatorade back in like maybe like 1970 when it was actually like good for you and actually did hydrate you.
Gators.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Like cough syrup.
Yeah, right now the one they give you now is just a big hunk of sugary redness. Like, oh yeah, don't worry, this yellow number 5 is definitely going to hydrate your kidneys.
Sir, I drink the blue Gatorade because it's more hydrating, because it's blue, like water.
I drink the mystery Gatorade because I like a challenge.
There's a mystery Gatorade? What the fuck?
Yo, yeah. There's literally just like a all white Gatorade that just has question marks written on the label.
Somebody jizzed in a Gatorade jug and they sold it? Yeah. Holy shit.
Wow.
If you're feeling on the edge, then yeah, y'all, you can do that.
I drink the purple.
Go ahead.
I drink the purple Gatorade because I like the taste of purple.
Oh yeah, purple is pretty good. Goes down good.
Eh.
Purple goes pretty good with steak, believe it or not. Purple and steak. You'd never think that.
Yeah, you would never think something like that.
That's the restaurant I want to run. Where like we don't serve you wine, we just serve you chilled Gatorade, and you can have like exotic food, but you'd have to have Gatorade with it.
You had that.
We have ketchup, but our ketchup is purple. We don't explain to you why or how.
The ketchup is brown. Don't worry.
I'm sure it's fine.
The color God intended it to be.
Dr. Sleep says, agree or disagree, but I believe most of the long, boring, shitty work rate matches are meant for music videos and wrestling highlights. That's my theory.
Yeah.
LOL.
Yeah, right? Like, it should have, like, some kind of, like, Papa Roach, like, song in the background while it's happening.
Yeah, so long as there's a man flying through the air while cameras are flashing in the background, they can pretty much, you can do anything. You just got to get that one where the chorus starts, like, screaming at you with the guy jumping, and it's good. You
Yeah,
go.
right before Will Ospreay breaks his neck, it's like, this is my last resort!
Exactly,
like
yeah. Well, I've seen so many of them where, like, they cut between, like, anime scenes and WWE and like, Devil May Cry and shit, and I'm like, my God, this is the edgiest kid alive.
Yeah.
Someone needs to send this kid a trophy. Like, you are the edgiest. You are the edge.
What? Why is he listening to My Chemical Romance?
Right?
Sakura Mita's also joining us here. Macaroni.
That's really weird. Like, imagine you. I don't think I've ever seen that. I've never seen a wrestling music video set to Helena.
There's probably a reason. Oh, you expect like Over Honor or something like that?
That's a challenge. I gotta go out there and do that now. And figure out how to make that work. Bill Goldberg flying through the air with Helena in the background.
Bill Goldberg spearing people to fly to the Valkyries.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, bang, dun-dun-dun-dun, bang.
Barbie girl. That's the one to do.
Beautiful Axe, what's your favorite video game console? Somebody asked me this just like a week ago, and I said that all-time favorite console is the Sega Genesis. Nothing's ever going to surpass the Genesis. Number 2 would be the PlayStation 2. And then if I had to pick a number 3, it would be... It's a weird line between either the PS3 or the Super Nintendo. I don't know which one I would go with, but those are my top 3.
I like the GameCube because it did what it told you it was gonna do, and you could like have attachments to it to turn it into like a combat base, like a fully operational combat base.
It was a cube that played video games.
Right, and you could attach shit to it that made it look like you could like down a Harrier jet from your living room with the damn thing.
That's what I want, a video game that looks like a stack of Legos.
It was crazy. Like, go ahead and look that up sometime. Like, all the attachments for the GameCube, it literally looks like some 1980s, like, anti-aircraft rifle, laser rifle.
And it didn't in, like, 3 years. They were like, no, let's just go with the Wii. This was a mistake.
Well, they looked at what all the attachments did to it. They're like, where's the GameCube? What happened? We lost it in all the attachments.
It was so many attachments, they forgot how to turn it on.
That thing had a portable surround sound system, Jacob. That had a portable surround sound. It had its own independent television screen attachment.
Yep. Who else do we got here? Yeah, so Eddie, do you have your favorite video game system?
A video game system? When I was a kid, I wanted a Jaguar, and I knew it was shit. I knew it was shit. Like, everybody knew it was shit, but for some reason, everybody I wanted one just because I thought the commercials were kind of cool, and I thought the idea of a Jaguar was kind of cool. But I also wanted an Atari Lynx at the same time. I was really into big cats, I guess, back then.
Yeah.
Mita here says, did you see the Four Stick movie? That was the really awful Fantastic Four movie with like Michael B. Jordan and what's her name? Like Kate Mira. Yeah, no. Literally the only thing I remember about that movie is that the director literally slammed the movie before it came out and ruined his own career. That's all I remember about that film. And that for some reason Dr. Doom looked like a demented alien creature. For some reason, so
because he was a demented alien creature,
I guess on paper. So yeah, we got a few things to talk about here tonight. So there's a lot to unpack here. I'm actually going to start this show talking about, I guess it will be a follow-up from last week's show, talking about Peacemaker and James Gunn and John Cena, because we had kind of talked about the downfall of John Cena towards last week's episode here on this show. And I think more people have seen the first episode of Peacemaker. I'm not sure if they've released all the episodes or if it was just the first one that's been released so far. But yeah, it's pretty much exactly what I expected it to be. And I'm kind of surprised that people have only just now kind of realized that this is exactly what you're going to get out of James Gunn. I don't, like, to me, it's like, okay, this was exactly what season 1 was. This is exactly what everything James Gunn has done, with the varying exception of Guardians of the Galaxy, which required a little bit of pulling back. But yeah, no, this is exactly what you're going to get out of him. You're going to get irrelevant humor, you're going to get degeneracy, you're going to get a whole bunch of nonsense, and then you're going to realize this is all coming from, what, a 60-year-old? Does he even have kids? Does James Gunn even have children? Like, I'm genuinely asking, because I don't. Oh, so great. So he's like CM Punk. He's a dog dad.
Yeah.
But doesn't have any real children of his own. Yeah, so this is the mind of a twisted 60-year-old man. So anyway, what happened was that I was listening to Nerdrotic, and they were doing their whole review and breakdown of it, and everyone was kind of disappointed. There's a few things to kind of pull apart here with this story, because there's a couple of ways you can go with this. One is that the question was asked, was this the right project to immediately follow Superman? And what I mean by that is that Superman came out, it's not going to make its money back, no matter how much you try to convince you otherwise, it's going to lose money. And that was supposed to be the whole, hey, this is the new DC, kids, come here and watch Superman be a hero. And then their first project immediately afterwards is like, hey, let's take all those characters from that Superman movie and bring them into this R-rated, degenerate, nonsensical television show immediately afterwards. Because keep in mind, Superman is generally for general audiences and families and stuff like that. And this is absolutely not for them whatsoever. So I don't know why he thought that this was a good parallel point to make. Because, I mean, if you want to keep Peacemaker its own separate thing, that's fine, but why would you have literally everyone from the movie that just came out?
Peacemaker is his dad. He's Peacemaker.
Peacemaker. Did I say Peacemaker? No, you know what I was. You know what I was thinking of? I was actually thinking of Page Master. Remember the old Page Master?
Yeah.
That little bastard Culkin.
That's what you need in the middle of this, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just throwing that out there. But yeah, I think like so. The whole thing is John Cena, like, literally admitted into the show. He's in his underwear. They're introducing the multiverse concept already. So, brand new DC universe. We're already doing multiverse nonsense. So, yeah, that's great. That's stupendous. Everyone's talking about the fact that there's literally like a massive gay orgy scene, or I'm sorry, bisexual orgy scene in the middle half of the film, because it's important to establish that, you know, Peacemaker goes both ways. We have to establish that for the
not only that,
of the character.
That superheroes have sex. It's very important that the DC universe clarifies that it is only one screen rating away from The Boys.
Well, then again, this isn't even a show about superheroes. Like Peacemaker is not a superhero. He's a psychopath who has a fancy helmet. That's really all it comes down to here. It's like he's a guy who kills people, and like I said,
The Boys, DC.
But that's the thing, though. So it's like the boys have already spent the last few years doing this deconstruction of a superhero and degeneracy, and what if they were just like us, and creating this world of nihilism, and because the creator is miserable and he's having a meltdown about all the things that are happening in the world, like so many other people are right now. It's like, great, I have to sit here and watch 2 hours of your therapy session because you're a childless 60-year-old man who hates the world that we live in. So it's like, great, this is exactly what I want to sit through and waste my life here doing. But yeah, exactly. It's chaotic, vulgar, self-indulgent. It's a disaster. A lot of people, there are people that are angry about the whole erasing of the Snyderverse. I've been very, very clear about this. I don't care about Snyder or Gunn. I think they're both hack frauds. James is probably a bigger hack fraud than Snyder, if I'm being completely honest with you. That doesn't mean that Snyder's any better. But you got that whole thing going on here. Like I said, the whole fact that this was the jumping off point of a Superman movie that was questionable by my standards too, and then like you said, you're doing hard R-rated content and featuring characters from a movie that was supposed to be family friendly. So you're mixing a whole lot here that doesn't mix whatsoever. People are now trying to say like John Cena has range as an actor because apparently there's a scene where he cries, and I'm like, really, guys, is that all it takes for someone to have range to freaking cry for 4 seconds on the camera? Now all of a sudden John Cena is a thespian. Is that what we're really? There's a lot of problems.
Isn't he married
here.
to a woman?
John Cena is married, but John Cena is another guy who refuses to have kids. Like he's gone on record to say that yeah, like I said, he goes out there, he does all these, make-a-wishes for kids and whatnot, but he doesn't want to have children of his own because he doesn't want to essentially give up any part of his life or career to actually raising kids the way that they should be. So he's basically chosen his career over having a functioning family, and that's basically like what it is now, right? Yeah, that too. That's the other elephant in the room with this whole situation here as well. So, like I said, there's a lot of things wrong here fundamentally with this show. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have actually seen this or not, but I want to kind of talk about kind of just James Gunn as a whole. I know his wife is involved with this show, and I think she was like one of the few characters that got grandfathered in from the Snyder verse season 1 to the James Gunn verse. But here's the thing. I've never understood why anyone thought that it was a good idea to give him the keys to the castle. And I'm talking about James Gunn here because this is exactly what I expected from him. We've seen a multitude of his projects, even the ones that aren't superhero related that he's come up with over the last several years. The Belko Experiment and Brightburn, which I believe he was a producer of, and a few other films. It's the same thing, and it's a worldview that's very, very nauseating and it's very, very tiring. And there's a lot of people who love that, nihilist point of view that James Gunn likes to put into a lot of his films where everyone's just a trash human being and just violence and gore and sex and just, a lot of people like that, and just same reason why a lot of people like The Boys, because you get a lot of that in The Boys here too. I'm just personally kind of sick and tired of this being fed to us as a form of entertainment, knowing exactly what it is, and I feel like this guy's the poster child for all of that. And this show, I think, further goes on to prove that he was the absolute worst person to put in charge of the Superman movie. Like, if you want to be involved in the universe itself, fine. You're not a guy who should be writing and directing Superman, and that's just is what it is there. So a lot of things to talk about here. Cider, I'll start here with you. What is your take on just this concept of Peacemaker? I'm not sure if you've seen the new episode, if you watched season 1 or anything about this character, because this is a character that they've been doing now for about 4 years now, because I believe the Suicide Squad movie he debuted in was 2021, if I'm not mistaken. And then this is essentially John Cena's meal ticket out of the WWE. So while John Cena is on WWE wrestling Logan Paul in his last 3 months in the company, he's essentially leaving WWE so that he can go work with James Gunn, and James Gunn puts him in tidy whities and makes him look like a jackass for an entire year. It's like, this is what you chose. Okay, go up with that one, bro. So what's kind of your take here of this so far? Cider.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'm just kind of dazed and confused that this guy even has a job anymore. See, John Cena has kind of gone mask off recently. Ever since he went and did that naked thing at the Grammys, like, it's not so much that his dignity was, like, interrupted there, but it was obvious that the dignity didn't have, like, a floor anymore. There was that shameless thing that had taken over with, like, sure, I'll do that because it'll advance my career in not throwing oiled up men across a portable ring. And that, I have to kind of, I don't know, my brain just melts over when it comes to this stuff because there's just so much stupid bullshit associated with it. James Gunn, the direction of the DC universe, or rather lack of direction in the DC universe, and also just what is the point of what they're trying to accomplish here? What are you trying to do? Just fill some time? What's the point of all this? And I'm utterly confused as to why Peacemaker exists.
It's essentially subversive entertainment, and people like stuff that is subversive because it goes against traditional values and traditional way of thinking and whatnot about what we actually deem to be decent and undecent, and people like that because people hate traditional things. So that's why another reason I think James Gunn appeals to a lot of people. And like I said, I just find his shtick to be very, very tiring, and I have basically ever since the first Guardians movie, which I actually really like. Like I've said this many times before, I think the first Guardians is probably like top 3 best MCU film that exists. Did not care for the other two at all, and those two were basically, they gave full control over the James Gunn to do whatever he wanted.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Eddie, what's your take on this? Am I being too hard on our good old buddy James here?
No, absolutely not. James Gunn has always been a hack, just like Zach the Hack. And I don't see what's subversive about any of this. I mean, didn't we already make superheroes have sex and kill people for real like a couple of years ago? How long is this trend going on that we have to have superheroes do things that superheroes don't actually do?
I mean, we talked about the hack here earlier. Wasn't that basically Watchmen? Like, wasn't that essentially that?
And then, of course, just like Watchmen, the character that everybody was supposed to hate, everyone fucking loves. What's his name? Rorschach or whatever.
Yeah.
And the same thing with James Gunn, did the same thing. Like, oh crap, you're supposed to hate this guy, not make him the most badass midget in the entire fucking movie. But
then again, go ahead. I'll make a point to that.
Yeah. It's just like I don't see what's subversive anymore. If you're gonna subvert expectations on a superhero movie, how about the superhero's a nice guy who saves the town and fights a villain and does the motions of a superhero, only entertaining, and that's something apparently the DC universe hasn't been able to do for 20 years now.
It's been a little bit, and so what you were mentioning here earlier, and this has been a common theme with a lot of these type of creators here, is that this is the central problem with a lot of this, is that they always create a character that they want you to hate because it's always a caricature of somebody else who they hate in real life. We talked about this many times with The Boys. Homelander is supposed to be Donald Trump. I don't know if that's breaking news to anyone, but the creator said flat out that when he was crafting the character of Homelander, in his mind, he was thinking of Donald Trump. So Homelander is supposed to be Trump. When people started liking Homelander because they like, subversive characters like that, he started getting upset because in his mind, you weren't supposed to like Homelander. You were supposed to hate him as much as he does because when he sees Homelander, he sees Trump. So then you go on to essentially tear down the character that you created because the wrong people like that character. This is precisely what happened with the last Warner Brothers DC project, Joker 2. Joker 2 was essentially an FU to all the fans who enjoyed the first Joker movie because the wrong people liked the first Joker movie. So they made a sequel that tore down that character to its core just to give a middle finger to the people who liked it in the first place. And it's like, if you're going to do shit like that, then don't waste your time making content then. Because first of all, you're not going to tell people what they like and can't like. That irritates the crap out of me, especially when you have no concept morally, especially of right or wrong to begin with. But then not only that, but then you try to essentially rub it in people's faces about, this is what we call, heroes now. This is our ideas of heroes and villains. And essentially, villains is white supremacists and heroes is this asshole John Cena murderer character because, well, he murders the people that we don't like, so that makes me like, no, it doesn't. Like, you guys, for someone who's supposed to be a big comic book fan, it seems like you fundamentally have lost the point of why heroes are called heroes and villains are called villains. And maybe it's because, Gunn was more of a fan of like these edgy boy, let's blur the line and turn everything to a shade of gray era of comic style. Maybe that's his thing, but I'm just kind of sick and tired of like watching his shtick at this point. And one silo note here, I'll shoot it back to you guys. someone was arguing with me last week about, you know, how Gunn was this victim of cancer culture or cancel culture, which is absolute and total bullshit. Everyone knows what happened. He had a whole bunch of tweets get popped up that, let's be very, very honest, were pedophilic at best, I guess you can say. And then a whole bunch of photos of him over the past few years popped up to him as well. Like I said, they're talking about a 60-year-old man who's been married twice, has no kids whatsoever. That in and of itself should probably be a red flag, but that's a whole other conversation. And then what happened? So Disney distanced themselves from him for a year, basically to let the heat go down. And then very next year, they brought him back. They allowed him to finish Guardians of the Galaxy. And then he started doing movies for DC, and now he controls all the DC superhero movies. So when was he ever canceled? When was he ever treated the same way that, you know, James Woods or Gina Carano was treated? Like, when did that happen?
Never.
Absolutely never did. Yeah,
it can't happen to these guys for whatever. Like you used to believe back in the day that in order to get into Hollywood, you have to have some kind of a merit, or you have to be you have to be entertaining. You thought at some point I got to do something for people to notice me, and apparently James Gunn and a lot of these people, the only talent that these guys have is to know, like radar. Maybe that's their superpower. Beep, 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 beep. That's who asses I need to kiss, and that's whose cock I need to suck in order to get ahead in this entire fucking menagerie of fucking idiocy that goes on in Hollywood. And I don't know. I don't know what did James Gunn do to get the DCU other than make a comic book movie? Like.
Yeah.
What did he? Who gave this to Kevin Feige? Who gave this to Kevin Feige? Who gave Marvel to Kevin Feige? What? Because he made Freaks and Geeks. Like, what is this? Like, who came up with these ideas?
It's like, seriously, who thought James Gunn was worthy enough to run an entire studio? Like, who? Like, based on what? Because by the time they had made this decision, that was the second Suicide Squad movie that came out, which is only marginally better than the first one, only because the first one sucked. So it was like he had a high bar to pass there. And then before then, the only thing he's done between that film is the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie, which honestly I think people will make it out to be way better than it actually is. It's a serviceable movie, but you're literally getting emotional over CGI animals. Like, it literally blue screen animals. Like, people are like, oh my god, Raccoon's story was so tragic. It's like it's literally CGI. Like, they're not real.
Exactly. I don't understand this. Like, you could see that there was some sort. You could see, I guess, that there was some sort of a separation between old Hollywood and this new kind of Hollywood, because they used to spend all of this money. They used to spend the exact same amount of money on like a Marvel movie, a DC movie. They used to spend that on 20 independent films back in 2003. Okay. You can get 20 movies. Yeah, sure, they're from Sofia Coppola, most of them. But you can get 20 legitimate independent movies with actual thought and, like, you know, emotion and, you know, talent, compared to this bloated mess of a movie that costs 3 times as much. It's just like, what toy commercial came up with this idea that Hollywood needs to be run this way?
Do you know that James Gunn, before Superman, has only directed 6 movies and half of them are Guardians of the Galaxy?
This sounds like a Ryan Johnson situation.
Literally, like,
even worse.
Like, you think that he's done a lot more than he actually has, but outside of Guardians of the Galaxy, before Superman, the only 3 movies that he actually directed was Slither, Super, which was an indie movie from years ago, and then the Suicide Squad movie that came out like 4 years ago. That's it.
Yes, Super, a comic book movie, and because it's about a superhero, it's a comic book movie. And the Suicide Squad, another comic book. This guy has done nothing but comic book movies. He's just he's literally spent at least $2 billion on junk.
Yeah.
Here's a crazy theory, okay? What if James Gunn was the only guy that would take the job? So they went to Spielberg. Spielberg was like, fuck no. they went to George Lucas, and he was like, I'm gonna write more about Jabba. I'll see you later. Bye. Yeah. Got any Diet Coke? Anyway, they went off to they found the CGI guys. They went to the Toy Story guys. They're like, "Would you do it?" They're like, "No, fuck you. We're gonna make more Potato Head shit. Eat shit. Fuck you."
Yeah.
Maybe they went James Gunn. He was in the room picking through the trash, and they're like, "Hey, when you're done there, do you want to take over the DC universe?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever."
Yeah, sure. I just need to finish this one Marvel movie first, and then I'll run your entire studio.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for the job,
David
guys.
Zaslav was like, "Great. Will you do it for half the price of a cheese sandwich?"
Guys, I know exactly what's gonna save this universe. Booster Gold. I'm like, oh fuck.
But he's played by an Indian guy.
Yep.
So that even the five guys that
not even just the Indian guy. Not even
off.
There's cool Indian guys you can get to be Booster Gold. They picked literally the worst one.
Booster Gold is a white blonde guy. That's like going to T'Challa and being like, "Hey, we're gonna recast you with Chris Evans." Okay, It's just don't do it. Just don't do that. And so, what, you couldn't find a blonde guy to play a jackass? He's not even a hero. He's just an asshole.
James Gunn went and watched Stuber because Dave Bautista was in it, and he was like, "You know what? I got a great job for you. Let me come have a talk with me."
Yeah, right. Well, that guy, he did an interview. The guy that was supposed to play Booster Gold, he did an interview about his Eternals contract. He's like, "Yeah, I was supposed to have my own solo series, and we were supposed to do 6 movies, and none of that happened. And then Booster Gold fell through, and it's like, maybe you're not supposed to be a superhero, dude. Maybe that's just God saying no Indian superheroes, bro." Okay,
no, is that which one is that? Harold or Kumar?
It's
no. That's
Kumar.
what's the name? Kumail Nanjiani, that guy, the guy who basically plays.
Kumar.
The guy basically plays like an Indian beta male in every movie that he's in.
Yeah. The atypical Indian beta male guy.
Oh, that Indian, the Indian with the punchable face. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
You. But, no, so he's like, everything, that never happened. And it's like, yeah, how about that, bud?
Yeah.
How about that? Imagine being Daisy Ridley right now.
Yeah, right. That she's a whole other.
Imagine being the other one. What's his name? I don't remember his name.
Okay, well, hold on. He went from Kylo Ren to shouting the hard R in the middle of a movie, okay? He kind of brought some of that blacklisting on himself, okay? He made bad to worse.
The sad part is, I wasn't thinking him. I was thinking the black guy, but I couldn't remember the black guy name either.
Oh, shit.
Neo here asks, is this show worse than the CW show? Here's the thing. CW shows are generally low-budget television shows. That's why they're bad. It's because their budget is so low, they don't hire anyone of quality to actually make their shows good.
Hold on. I gotta tell you, Arrow season 1 in Smallville was some pretty good shit. They made that work. But after that,
Smallville was WB, wasn't it?
I thought that was the end of it was CW because they had moved over, right?
Smallville definitely started with WB, so that was years before
the end of it.
Yeah.
Wasn't it the end of it on CW though?
Yeah, probably.
The tail end of it.
So I mean, I'm just trying to say that they didn't have gobs of money ever, and they made it work.
Right. The Arrow, that dude had to wrestle in 2 different promotions in order to get the show noticed for season 2 and 3.
Yeah, he actually tried to put over Cody when he was Stardust, and then Cody got fired 6 months later.
Exactly. Stephen Hamill?
Stephen Amell.
You're a good dude, bro. Good job, man. I'm proud of you.
It is funny that he has been brought back now that Cody's the star of the company now. That's a whole conversation.
It paid off. He's gonna get Freddie Prinze Jr.'s job.
So here is something that I found very, very interesting. I'm glad that Terminator Joe brought this up because there was an article. I'm not sure if it was new or recent or from years ago, but Gunn literally talks about it. It was either Gunn or Cena was talking about the character of Peacemaker, and before he took the role, he wanted to do some research on the character and whatnot. James Gunn literally stopped him from doing research on the character, told him do not read the comic books. Because you know why? If Cena actually knew what the comic accurate version of Peacemaker was, and then James Gunn was trying to get him to do some questionable shit, Cena could have objected just for the base of, this is not what my character would do. But if John Cena knows nothing about the character, James Gunn can get him to do whatever the fuck he wants, which is kind of really dirty when you really think about it like that. But that's precisely what he did. So maybe that's another reason why, all these people are like, no, don't have the actors, read the comic books, because, we want to do things that, the actors can't object to if they actually know about the characters that they're playing. So, way to go, Hollywood. Do you think that Hollywood has a problem with too much reliance on the deconstruction of they're just tearing down anything that any kind of traditional American holds of any value whatsoever? It's like they're essentially parasites at this point. And this is why Hollywood's in the shape that it's in. We just had a big summer blockbuster season where only one, maybe two movies made $600 million. And that's it. We had a dinosaur movie came out. That didn't make that much. We had a whole bunch of superhero movies come out from DC, from Marvel, and they all mostly flopped because audiences is like, well, we're done with this shit. We're stuck. First of all, we know now that you guys hate us, and you've hated us for years, so we're not going to give you guys any money because we know exactly how you guys think about us. And then you're not even giving us any quality to get off of our asses and spend $20 on a movie ticket in 2025 to go support any of your stuff. So that's exactly why you're in the position that you're in. Hi, Rick.
All right.
It's sad. Had they done this literally like 5 years before, and they tried to soften this edge off and everything else, and hey, superheroes are back again, kids. Had they done this 5 years before, we'd probably still watch decent superhero movies nowadays. Had they tried to like make superhero movies, superhero like.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, okay? And it irritates a lot of people when we get into this conversation, so I'll make it really quick. Comic books have thrived because they have no canonical sense. We want to lie to ourselves that Superman has a continuous story. He does not. Nor does Batman, nor does Aquaman. And trying to force these movies to have that has obliterated both DC and the MCU. You can't do it. They have to be like dumb little Shazam is off on his own little stupid adventures, and then Batman's doing his own stupid bat nipples adventures, and Superman's screwing around with a fucking dog or something. I don't know. But they can't be hanging around in the same universe, because you get into a situation where Batman's getting his fucking ass kicked. Why does he pull out the bat phone and be like, hey, Clark, I need you to murder somebody? Mm-hmm. MCU's ran into it now. How the hell does Spider-Man get into any trouble? How the hell does anybody in the Avengers Tower have any fucking problems whatsoever? Thor is right there. Anything that Tony can get into trouble for, Thor can just hammer out of the sky. There's no threat that you can possibly amass against them now. This is the problem with comics. Have always been like, Reed Richards fucks with Galactus in his own little way. Everybody in New York, all the superheroes in New York are not all like, oh shit, Galactus is here. It's just Reed Richards with his stupid gravity gun fucking with Galactus. And that's the story. And that's how comics have thrived for so long, because they just ignore that Thor's down the street eating fucking ice cream, watching all this happen like, verily, I will assist whenever I am called upon. And just fuck the world until then,
I never thought of it. That's true.
And that's how they're fucked, is everybody's expecting the Guardians to show up any minute because they've told us they can just do that. Open one of those ring portals and $2 billion worth of actors walk through them. Come on, guys. And that's why it's over.
Never mind that Captain Marvel can show up and just destroy the Earth or whatever.
Whatever the fuck. Just fly through the core of the planet because she could just fucking do that. Girl power or whatever. I'm just a girl.
Captain Marvel was supposed to be the leader of this entire, Marvel Cinematic Universe nonsense, and then last time I saw Brie Larson, she had a boy haircut and she was twerking on a table. So
it's going pretty well.
So.
As you can tell, it's going pretty well. But that's just it. Is it that's how comics have thrived for so long, is they've been just disconnected from each other forever. So trying to do what this is doing fucks it all up.
So apparently this is the intro to season 2 of Peacemaker, which I'll play a little bit of, but it's basically the entire cast doing some kind of nonsensical music
They're
number.
trying to be Deadpool. Look at that. James Gunn is so jealous of Deadpool and Wolverine. He's like, I wanted to make that movie. I wanted to do it.
It's like he wanted to do that movie, but then he was stuck with Guardians of the Galaxy, so he didn't get the opportunity. So this
I got to work with a raccoon.
Yeah.
Stupid tree. Stupid Vin Diesel tree.
Like, do people think that this is entertaining? Like,
yeah,
like,
there's
this
Reddit
funny
moderators that find it hilarious.
Like, I'm watching this and I'm just thinking to myself, like, who thinks that this is good? Like, who? It's like, oh yeah, this is absolutely hilarious, yo.
It's honestly like people who, don't go outside, don't have friends, and just rely on the internet for their opinions.
This is actually making me hate John Cena more because in the all grand scheme of things, this is why he's leaving WWE, so he can do more of this nonsense.
So he can do this. He can run around and do this shit.
He's leaving the one industry where he actually has respect. He's running off to Hollywood to do this shit.
He agreed to die in the Fast and Furious movies where he was a legit badass and earned his place in the family. So, whatever.
So he could do this. Why does woman take my
that?
Why does woman steal my pants?
Yeah, oh.
Jesus.
Well, that sounds about right.
See, the Eagle's trying to get into the shot too.
Yay.
They are paying these actors so much money to be part of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like the guy in the back was the leader of the Unit on CBS, and the Unit was like the biggest show for people over 45 ever.
It's like, seriously, what is this?
He was the Terminator. He was the Liquid Terminator.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking Liquid, and they pay him to be a turbo racist.
Yeah.
That's what they do with him. They're like, hey, you can phase through shit. Well, everybody knows you as like the murder Terminator.
Problem with all of these. Like, seriously, this is the problem with all these deconstruction shows. It's like when you basically throw good and evil out the window, like objective good and evil out the window, then you have to create, okay, well, who's evil now? Then all of these shows decide, I get it, racism. Let's make racism the villain. Right? Racism is bad, right?
Child abuse.
Let's make the main villain a white supremacist. Let's go do that. Oh, that's fucking original. We haven't seen that before. It's not like The Boys did that shit 4 fucking years ago.
What does racism have to do with his superpower?
It has nothing. Nothing. Because the people who are writing this show, who are deranged leftists like James Gunn, the only villain that they can point out in society is, oh, my racism. Like, when they're not doing allegories to Trump, that's all they got. That's why all this shit is the same. Like, I feel like T-Pain, when he was having a meltdown about R&B audiences, like, stop sending me the same shit. All you guys sound the same. Stop sending me the same stuff.
Like, man, that's a great meme, dude. You got to clip that one out. That's perfect. That's perfect. Stop sending me the same stuff. But I hope he did it in like the T-Pain voice, like, stop sending me the same stuff.
I gotta find that rant, because that rant is absolutely hysterical.
Like, I think there's a video of like T-Pain falling down the stairs or something, and it's just somebody pretending to fall downstairs with it being like pitch corrected, auto-tuned. Mm-hmm. It's hilarious, like the scat man falling down the stairs. But yeah, like this, they don't understand even raw comedy, because they're like, would it be funny if Peacemaker, being the disillusioned, disassociative idiot that he is, ends up in a superhero orgy? Ha 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 ha. Orgies are so common. Mm-hmm. So many people understand that joke. Like, how awkward is it when you're the guy wearing tighty whities at the orgy, right, guys? Mm-hmm. Everybody on Tumblr is gonna get this.
We're having an orgy, guys, and half of us are gay.
This is what they think is relatable. Isn't that
provocative? Isn't that provocative, guys?
This is what they think is relatable. You got to remember that. Like, like $1 million or so.
Because in their industry, that little Hollywood bubble where there's nothing but people who think like them, that's basically normalized to them.
Yeah, yeah. So meanwhile, you're just a dude watching this, and you're like, "Whoa, what is this?" You know?
Because, like I said, in fucking Hollywood, everyone's gay, everyone's trans, everyone does questionable shit behind closed doors. They think that's what normal life is. But then, when everyone else outside of that bubble watches the shit, it's like, "What the fuck is this shit?" And then they have the audacity to get mad at you because you're not accepting this shit. Like somehow you're the fucking problem. Like, fuck off.
That's it.
Snoop Dogg, remember?
Yeah, well, we'll get to him here in a second, but I have to play this rant because this is just absolutely brilliant. Like I said, he's talking about songs, but you can apply this rant to so many other things.
Oh, yeah.
Just, God damn it!
We have all the shit that you're doing. We already have it. Lil Uzi Vert is already doing it. Lil Baby is already doing it. Dub Baby is already doing it. It's literally two niggas with baby in their names that's already doing all the music you want. Do something else. Do something else. That's it. That's all we want. Do something else. Holy shit. We have it. We have it already.
It's the most
you don't
related
have to do
thing
that
I've ever
music
been.
anymore. We have the music already. We have Lil Baby. We have Dub Baby. We have Lil Uzi Vert. We have Lil Yachty. We have Lil everybody. Do something else. Holy shit. Stop sending me this bullshit. And then get mad when I fucking don't like it.
I don't fucking like it.
God damn tap dancing Christ.
Tap dancing Christ. That's a good one.
Wow.
That is
right
just freaking brilliant. Like I said, you can apply that rant to so many things.
Like, look, when you're doing your reviews again, whenever it happens, right? You got to get that clip and just put that in the middle of like the rant, right? Just randomly cut it in, like you're
Do something else.
and just
Do something else.
God damn it! When you're slapping the table, just.
It's bad.
We got
guys.
two gentlemen with baby in their names.
We got two niggas with baby already in their name. Do something else.
We got little everybody out there. Stop getting mad at me when I don't like it.
That is the sound of a man who has just had enough. Just had enough.
Like, you hear that in like every grocery store across America on Friday afternoon, but it's special when it comes from T-Pain.
Why can't we get him in front of the Marvel and DC people?
Well, you can,
Please.
but they'll probably give him money to be part of the MCU to shut him up.
Well,
Just standing
let's
in the corner. That's enough.
He'll make him
And
the
this
Black
MCU
Panther.
shit. Right.
How many fucking gay characters do you need? We have enough of this bullshit.
How many gay people do you think there are in the world?
Let's jump over to another superhero franchise that's absolutely going down in flames at the moment. Avengers Doomsday is seemingly in a lot of trouble because there's not a lot of positive news about this project right now. It looks like in a disaster. Essentially what's happening is that this movie has about 70 actors who are part of this. That means the people who they've already announced and the secret characters who they're keeping under wraps right now. The problem is, like, how do you get 70 people into one movie, get them to shoot a movie at the same time? Spoiler alert, you don't. Essentially, this film has been a handful of actors interacting with one another on screen, and then everyone else is just filming their stuff in front of a blue screen. I think it was Alan Cumming who's playing Nightcrawler in the film. I think he said that he did all of his scenes in blue screen with no actors around him. And that's his contribution to Avengers Doomsday. There's a lot of people who basically know absolutely nothing about what's going on with this film. And the question is, are they doing all of this because essentially they have no idea what the hell they're doing? Or are they doing all of this because they're trying to essentially prevent some of these things from leaking? Then again, it's like all these actors have already signed like multi-million-dollar NDAs to keep their mouths shut. So it's not like you have to fear anything leaking coming from the actors. So to me, it seems like they have no idea what they're doing. Then there was a rumor, and the rumor has been confirmed, not confirmed. Here's what I mean by this, that apparently two big name actors who are involved in this movie got into an on-screen blow up, and basically one has absolutely refused to work with the other one. Apparently someone made an off-color joke that the other one didn't appreciate, words were said, and then these two are just done with one another. So this has now caused delays in the production process. Now, initially, the rumors were going around that it was Robert Downey Jr. and Ryan Reynolds were the two who were involved in this whole blow-up. Now, they've come out since to deny that these were the two involved, but in their denial of them being the two involved, they actually made something that's kind of alarming, and it's the fact that they still haven't shot they haven't written the ending to this movie. The ending to this film has not been written yet, and it's coming out next year. So essentially, what we have here is that the rumor was that it was Ryan Reynolds and Robert Downey Jr. got into a fight. A few people ran with that. A few sources like here, TMZ, saying that that's not the case. And even by explaining how it couldn't have possibly have been them, what they're saying here is that, well, it couldn't have been them because Robert Downey Jr. and Ryan Reynolds haven't shot a single scene together in the movie, even though they're both in the movie. So that was kind of like, wait, what? So your defense is that there's no way they could have been involved in the fight because they haven't even shared a single scene with one another yet. And isn't Robert Downey Jr. supposed to be like the main villain in the film, and Deadpool's like one of the major stars? So how's that not happened yet? Because they're essentially filming this whole thing in bits and pieces, and it seems like they're isolating all of the actors involved so that barely anyone is actually interacting with one another, so that nobody really knows what's happening with the film. They're just going in, shooting their scenes, not being told what's actually happening in the plot or the movie. So I guess they find out afterwards. Well, the other rumor right now is that the movie has not even been finished yet. They don't have an ending to this movie. It comes out next year. They have not written a movie. This movie has been in like production for like almost 6 months now, and they don't even know how this thing is going to end. So it's estimated that this film is likely going to cost upwards of $1 billion when it's all said and done, which means that this has to be a mega hit for Marvel Studios if they're going to see any kind of payback. Put it to you this way: if this movie makes about $700 million globally at the box office, it's going to lose about $500 million. That's how expensive this film is. They don't have an ending. This whole thing only happened because Jonathan Majors fell out with Marvel a few years ago. This was supposed to be the Kang Dynasty, and it was already supposed to be out. They had to push that back, pay Robert Downey Jr. like $80 million for him to come back and do this film, and everything about this seemingly has been a complete disaster. And there's no other films in between this one and the one that just came out, Fantastic Four. That movie also flopped. So all they have here is the Hail Mary that, hey, maybe, everyone goes to see Robert Downey Jr. as Doom, and then we can make money. And that's about as far as they planned. And then that's where we are right now. So, Rick, you've been sitting here for a while. I'll start with you. What is your take on this massive mess in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Well, you need to have this all planned out way beforehand, especially if you're going to get such a massive cast. I didn't realize that there were 70 names in this, and most of them are probably just going to be cameos, unless you're going to have a movie that is 4 hours long, 5 hours long. You're not going to be able to have that. I mean, probably a couple of them are, I'm guessing, going to be basically cameos. But the thing is, you need to have all of this planned out. You need to have your script locked in, which includes your ending. You need to have your cast all set, and it doesn't look like it. Maybe they think that they're going to get people to come because it's going to be all of these characters, all the X-Men people, all the other people from other films coming together at last. And I would just say, how old are you? This would be exciting to a 14-year-old, but I'm assuming that the people who are the target audience are like in their 40s, 50s, maybe even pushing 60. It's time to let go. It's time to end the world's longest and most expensive soap opera. Just retire it quietly, or just watch this completely collapse. One or the other. I don't think this is going to be a big hit. I don't think it's going to be a hit. It's not event anymore.
So another big thing that's causing a lot of issues behind the scenes is that apparently Robert Downey Jr. wants to reshoot the scenes that he was basically a stand-in for. So a lot of the scenes with Doom, they used a body double and then just had Robert Downey Jr. relay lines kind of like off screen or added in after the fact. and Robert is now unhappy with the quality of these scenes, so he now wants to reshoot all the scenes with him in the suit. Now, my guess is the reason why they used a body double is because Robert Downey Jr. is 60 years old. He's not in the shape that he was in 20 years ago when he was Iron Man, and he can't physically put on the size to be a intimidating Doctor Doom at the age of 60, especially now that he's a bug-eating vegan, right? That's just not going to happen. So now there's a potential that they have to reshoot all of these scenes with him in it, and he's like the star, he's the guy. Like, they asked him to come back. He has a lot of creative control, so if he wants to come back and reshoot scenes because he's unhappy with them, they basically have their hands tied behind their back. And that's another thing that's leading to a lot of, questions behind the scenes about what's actually happening here with this film. Like I said, I bet every dollar that I got that Marvel Studios was just like, look, if we just put every single actor who has ever been in any superhero ever in the last 30 years into this film, we'll make $2 billion, $3 billion at the box office. And that's as far as they thought it out. And now we're here.
It's their all-star special. This world's longest, the most expensive soap opera, they're getting their all-star special where we're going to be, I don't know, I guess they're expected to be it's going to be drawing power. I don't know why, because honestly, I don't think many of us, I don't know, maybe you guys can. I don't think I'll be able to remember some of these characters. I know there was like in one of the Spider-Man movies where we found out that Jake Gyllenhaal was really evil, and he's saying, well, you got screwed by Spider-Man. I'm going, I have no idea who this character is. I don't know. I don't remember a movie that was 5 years, 10 years ago. I don't keep track of all of this. This is total nonsense. Though I will say this, I know this is going to sound strange. This reminds me of It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, where you did have all of these stars pop up, but they were cameos. That's why I think these are just cameos. They were there very briefly, but you had a core group that you followed, or at least you're following little groups here. Maybe that's the same thing they're going to do here. This is going to be the comic book version of It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. I don't know.
That's where we're at. Cider, what's your take on this mess?
So the problem that I have with it is, like, who cares anymore? Like, no, I'm not kidding. Like, we're at that
50-year-old man-child.
The Funko Pop collector guys. Like, who the hell cares? The kids have outgrown it, so the children that were like raised on the MCU dropped out when She-Hulk was having dating problems. Believe it or not too relatable to the action figure consuming community. Okay, they don't find too much engaging about that. And then again, Daredevil showed up, and Daredevil Born Again was just there's some stuff happening, but it's just stuff. And again, like, what did we have happen then? We had a bunch of superhero movies drop that didn't do anything. Ant-Man, Quantumania, of course, Jonathan Majors fell out immediately after that, scrambled to try and make anything happen. The Eternals, all of the weird writing. Right, the Marvelettes, they had to come through with that there, where Brie Larson was like on her last gasp of fame. And this is it. Who the hell cares anymore? The point of this is, like you said, the longest running soap opera. You're righter than you think, or more right than you think, because this is the point where, like, you're reaching that Victor Newman territory of, like, the people that are aware of what's going on are, like, also knitting at the same time. This is on in the background while they're working or at daycare. There's no more engaging with this. It told all it was going to tell in Infinity War, believe it or not. I don't think Endgame should have happened. I think they should have ended it with Thanos winning. And I'm not trying to be funny, because that would have given them the opportunity to create 5 more years of drama that they just glossed over between Endgame and Infinity War. Those 5 years where everybody was like, fuck, I don't know what to do. Half the universe is gone. They're just like, yeah, that happened. It was nasty. But now we're going to go chop Thanos' head off. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. That feels earned. Anyway, that's what happened, is that, like, they missed an opportunity to prolong and expand what they were trying to do. Because I could just tell you, Nobody gives a damn about Robert Downey Jr. being Victor Von Doom, but people who are like heavily invested in this to the point of like
All those
they're
people
collecting the
in
iron.
all those people in what is it, Hall H at Comic Con, they were invested.
Well, that's what I mean. Is that like these are the people that are like having like some type of like monetary gain from being involved with this, or like the WWE fans that get like some dopamine rush. It's not like it's not people that are there because they are enjoying the ride. They're there because the ride has become a part of their life, and so it's like going to Mecca now to go to
But
Hall H and hear what they're going to say about superheroes.
but the curious thing is, what the MCU did with all those post credit scenes. They tease these little stories that are never going to come around.
Right.
We're not going to see Harry Styles pop up in this, are we? We're not going to see other characters, like was it the one from Eternals or others
The Black Knight,
pop
yeah.
the Black Knight. We're not going to see them pop up. They're not going to
No.
get their own. They're not going to get their own stories. And Kumail Nanjiani, I heard a little bit of your conversation. He's not going to get his 6 film series and
No.
video game. All right. So they put in these things that are never going to come to fruition. I mean, you had that in the beginning. An Iron Man, you had Nick Fury pop up at the end and tease the Avengers initiative. Fine, but ever since then, they have these little bits because they expect it, and it's now not paying off. You're not going to. I hope we never get to see Harry Styles pop up in an MCU movie because the kid can't act. We're never going to see these stories. What happened? Was it in the Thor? It ended with was it another god about to attack, or told that we're going to attack? We're never going to get that ending. We're never going to get another movie with Doctor Strange and that weird villainous popping up. It's just not working. And now they want to tease this out. Why?
Here's a big. There's a big problem here that the studios need to address that are not addressing. But I do want Eddie to get in on this. I forgot he was down there for a second.
No, I have like a bigger idea, but I want to kind of hear what everyone else has to say. I have like a bigger idea what this all kind of means in a little bit. I think it might possibly be the end of media in general.
That too, and I mean, I know I've been talking about this. We kind of talked about it briefly. I didn't say briefly, but we did talk about this last week about how all of these media companies like Fox and Disney and NBC are all trying to shell out and prop up their streaming services because they need money and they don't have money and they overpaid for a whole bunch of content that people aren't buying. And now there's basically a media bubble that's being created here. And when that bubble bursts, a lot of these companies are going to have a very, very difficult time. And none of them at this point are too big to fail. That includes Disney, because while Disney is buying up a lot of things, they also got a lot of money tied up in the buying a lot of things as well. So if they don't get that money back, they're going to be in a world of hurt too. But my bigger thing here is this, and I think it was Leslie who talked about this here. Not only that, what's happening here is that the generation of people who grew up loving comic books, they're all really just aging out right now. Like they're in their 40s and 50s and like whatnot, so they're not really in tune to care much, or at least I hope they're not in tune to care about these superhero films. The younger generation that this stuff is supposed to be kind of aimed towards, they don't have any good comic book stories to actually hold on to. It's like they know who Spider-Man is, they know who Batman is, but the comic books that we've been creating over the last 15, 20 years have been absolute garbage, and they're not reading them. So they have no emotional connection to comic books like the millennials did or the Gen X did. Like they don't have that emotional connection to these books that they do. So these people don't care about Superman and Doctor Doom and Batman and all this stuff. They care about, Twitch streamers and Kick streamers and iShowSpeed and Quentin Jansen and those guys. Like that's the stuff that they're watching now. They don't care about the fictional medium. And I think they've gotten to this point where the old generation has been priced out and the new generation doesn't care. So it's like, why? Who are we still making movies for? Like, you guys are kind of like in this self stage of denial that people are getting sick and tired of these superhero movies, and you're putting billions of dollars into proving everyone else wrong, and you're just losing money.
Well, see, that's the thing is that next year we're going to have the media bubble finally burst, I think, because not only are you going to have these billions of dollars being marketed towards people watching these movies, whether it be the End Games or the Supergirl, all this type of stuff. You're going to see billions of dollars be pushed, and it's going to have to compete next year with GTA 6. And GTA 6, no one's going to leave their house for 3 years over GTA 6.
Yeah.
And so everyone's going to have all of that push on there. No one's going to bother trying to get it. And everything is, you're going to see it. It's just going to, it's not even going to explode. It's just going to deflate like a fucking whoopee cushion all over Disney and all over Marvel and all over every bit of Hollywood there is. And I don't know. I don't want to say it's a great thing or whatever. I love Hollywood, but here we go. Bye-bye Hollywood. Bye-bye movie business. Bye-bye all that. It was fun knowing you, and I think that's what's going to happen next year.
Not to mention, like, you talk about a media bubble. I think what's going to cause a media bubble to get worse is a possible financial collapse. And I've been pointing this out the last few days on Twitter that I don't know if you guys realize this. Inflation has not gotten any better. It's gotten worse, and the value of the dollar is rapidly deteriorating. I think we've lost like 50% of our purchasing power in just the last 3 or 4 years alone. So that's only going to get worse as time goes on. And like I said, all these companies are spending all these billions and billions of dollars trying to get people to buy their $60 a month streaming services at a time where people don't have that kind of dispensable cash to do so. So something's going to have to give. It's either going to be the media companies that crash first, or the people are going to crash first, and then the media companies are going to crash second. But something's going to give here. So, well, with that said, I'm going to move over to this story with Snoop Dogg because I just find this utterly humorous. I'm going to go ahead and be completely transparent with you here. I don't like Snoop Dogg, like, at all. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Snoop Dogg is all of a sudden, like, great for each good. I think he's just a scumbag. But he made a point that a lot of people have made over the course of the last... Now, let's be honest here. He's about 3 years too late to this conversation here because he's complaining about taking his kid to go see the Lightyear movie, and then the Lightyear movie decided that they were wanting to have some gay representation in a children's movie. And for those of you guys who are old enough to remember, I think Rick might be the only one. When we started the no, but seriously, when we started the Monday Night Movie Club, obviously Matt Movie Reviews was with us for one of those first couple of episodes, and he talked about the issue that he had with his kids, and basically saying that, you know, the last thing that I want to do is take my kid to a children's movie where I have to sit there and have a conversation about how 2 women made a baby with no man, right? Now I have to have that conversation with my kid, but I don't want to have that conversation with my kid because it's not the place to have that conversation, and that's the reason why he and a lot of other people boycotted that movie. And we talked about this ad nauseum 3 years ago when this whole thing happened, so a lot of people know about this whole situation. Well, Snoop Dogg, I guess, finally caught up with the rest of us because he basically said the exact same thing that Matt said 3 years ago, and this is the conversation he had about the exact same movie.
When you wake up Snoop Dogg from a high like this, that's how you know you've done some shit. By the way,
when you fucked up Snoop Dogg's high, that's how you know it's bad.
Right. I don't like Snoop Dogg without sunglasses. He looks like Lori Lightfoot.
Yeah, he looks like an old black woman. That's what he looks like now.
I'm just, Mother, sister, please calm down.
I said, like, I know there's a lot of rappers in their 50s now, and we haven't really gotten to, like, the sad part. Like, everyone's talking about, just a quick little sidebar, everyone's seen the video of, like, David Lee Roth at, like, these concerts where he's, like, 80, trying to be a rock star, and it's just sad and pathetic. We haven't gotten to, like, the point of, like, sad and pathetic rap, where, like, guys who are in their 60s and, like, their 70s are doing, like, Gin and Juice and, like, you know, Natural Born Killers and songs like that. Like, you know, we haven't reached that level of sad yet, but it's coming.
After this War of the Worlds Netflix movie, I don't want to hear Ice Cube talk about the streets ever again.
Yeah, right.
Well, Ice Cube is too busy making War of the Worlds by being on the green screen all day or
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't
Yeah.
want after that. I don't want to hear natural born killers anymore.
But here's Snoop Dogg.
I took my grandson to see what was the movie with Buzz Light?
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
The new Buzz. The Lightyear. I think it's called
with
Lightyear.
Kiki Palmer is in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the daughter. So we watching it, and the lady, which is Kiki's mama, they move on into the space years. They move down the line. They're like, man, she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey, man, watch the movie.
Nigga, watch the movie. Goddamn.
She had a baby. They both women. How did she have a baby? Shh. The movie ain't over with. So it's like, it's fuck me. I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for.
So of course people saw this and they got upset because
Naturally.
of course they did, naturally, because this their only option to go to. But no, like he's basically saying the same thing that many other parents were saying 3 years ago when the film actually came out. It's like, I don't want you guys pushing LGBTQ crap on my children. This is the whole concept of the Florida bill and Ron DeSantis down in Florida being like, no, you guys are not gonna use school teachers to teach, LGBTQ stuff to kids. And then Hollywood had a huge meltdown over that. Everyone in the left had a huge meltdown over that because it's like, oh, how dare you not allow us to indoctrinate your children? Because yeah, guess what? They're not your kids, and you don't have any authority to tell them what they can find acceptable. And many parents are like, "No, we're not going to do this." This was a huge pushback that parents led a few years ago against the LGBTQ, and that really helped like a lot of people kind of look at what this movement actually is and see it for what it is, because they noticed that the trend was going on with that and the drag queen story hour and all that stuff, that they're trying to get kids. They're trying to indoctrinate children, because shocker, when a movement can't reproduce naturally, because obviously the only way that they can actually move is indoctrination. It's the same thing with Islam, and I was talking about this on the Bible Lens a few weeks back with Islam. When it comes to Islam, only 5% of Muslims are actually converted by essentially evangelizing, if you want to call it that, right? Meaning that someone actually shared the message of the Quran to the person and that person became a Muslim. That's only 5% of cases. The 95% of people who Islam spreads throughout the world is by having kids. Like, you have one guy who marries a woman and has like 8 kids with that woman, and then he may have another wife and have a couple of kids with him, and that's how it spreads the way that it spreads. It doesn't spread naturally. This is exactly how it spreads. This is the same thing with the LGBTQ. They want to normalize this with people. They want people to look at, big dick cheerleaders and be like, oh, that's a woman. That you need to refer to her as she, her pronouns. And it's like, no, it's not. And people are like, I'm sick of this shit, because you guys have been doing this now almost 20 years. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised it's taken this long for people to be like, okay, enough. And even Snoop Dogg is like, now you've thrown me into this mix, and I wanted nothing to do with it, but now I'm here. And like I said, now people are trying to make it seem like somehow he's the bad guy here because he's had a negative reaction to Hollywood's LGBTQ propaganda, and somehow it's his fault.
And
that's a curious thing, is that it's not. I wondered if Lightyear was really targeted towards families. If you're going to put your children or grandchildren in a situation where you ask, Papa Snoop, how is it a woman and the woman now can have the baby without the guy? So I presume that he was blindsided by this.
Yeah.
He was unaware. I thought it was going to be an origin story for Lightyear, and then they introduce an element that is irrelevant to Lightyear, the character, but it needed to be there because we needed representation, because there were probably little 7-year-old gay children who needed to see themselves. I don't know. Same thing with Strange World. Nobody mentions that movie. That was the Disney movie that was
Nobody saw it.
Nobody watched. Yeah, nobody watched.
Yeah, exactly.
I did. I actually did.
Why? Nobody told you to do that.
It was like for $1. So I went to see it, and again, this was because we needed to have biracial gay characters represented, because biracial gay people need their animated series. It was such a niche thing, and it was terrible. Separate from all of that, the movie was just terrible. But again, if you're going to make an animated film targeted towards kids, and you're going to add these kind of elements, and it doesn't matter if it's gay or even regular, you're going to have some sort of sex orgy scene, Peacemaker style, you're going to put the parents in that situation where you're going to have to either explain it or just cover their eyes or leave. Because again, I sometimes wonder if the people who make these movies are making movies for their alleged intended target, or they're making movies for themselves. It's a question I have.
And Brown or Rad, like I said, I've talked about this on the Bible Lens like a few weeks ago. I talked about this very issue because, yeah, if you guys haven't realized, in a lot of Western nations, including here in the United States right now, there's a big movement where Muslims are taking over a lot of major cities and states now at a very, very rapid rate. There's the New York, there's Texas, there's one in Minnesota. Apparently, Charlotte, North Carolina has like a huge Muslim population that's actively growing right now. Nobody knows how they ended up in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, exactly. And no one knows how all these people just showed up everywhere. It's because you let them all in through the southern border of the last 4 years. That's how they got here. But and I pointed this out here too, because I know that, you know, all these LGBTQ people, they think that their enemy are Christians, right? Because Christians are the bigots. You guys hate gay people. All this nonsense that they always throw at you. It's always the Christians. Because in their core, they all hate God. That's why they always go after the Christians. But I point this out all the time. If the Muslims take control, which they're actively doing, and they bring in Sharia law into these nations, mark my words and understand, you guys will be the first ones to get killed. And I don't mean, they're going to bash you, they're going to call you, they're literally going to kill you.
That's nonsense. That's nonsense, Jacob. You know, those queers for Palestine, they're out there fighting to free.
Wait till Palestine actually takes over. You'll be the first ones to go. It was like, it's going to be a race between you and the Jews, but one of you guys are going first. So just let that know there.
But no, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you could say that, because they're out there, you know, fighting to free the Islamic people. And it's interesting. They're very clear. If you listen to what they say in Iran, if you listen to what they say in the Gaza area, they're not the most welcoming. You don't have pride parades in Tehran. You don't have pride parades in Amman or Cairo. You have to still have that all hidden. There are documented stories of gays getting tossed off buildings, and yet there they are supporting this. It's very bizarre, because of course when they think Christians, they think The Handmaid's Tale. They think that's the typical Christian.
If you want to see how, you know, gay pride works in Islamic countries, go watch Live Link. That's exactly where you will go to find stuff like that. So you'll
find something, all right.
You'll find something here. But I want to keep this in mind here just real quick. This is a video here. This is a woman. So this is a woman's reaction to this. You can only imagine.
Woman.
Yeah, so you can only imagine how.
Behold.
You can only imagine how reactionary the reaction from Muslim men is going to be here.
This is every cab ride I heard in South Brooklyn.
Yeah, right?
Fuck you, bloody! Fuck you, but no, fuck you, bloody!
That's all I hear.
That's literally all it goes.
Do not redeem. Do not redeem.
It's interesting. I mean, yeah, that's a woman, and she's actually more liberally dressed than those videos that Cider and I have been talking about, where the woman is completely covered, but her husband.
Oh,
is,
good, those ones. Woo.
Her husband's completely like fucking around short. But back to this again. If you're going to put this in these animated stories and your parents don't know, I think a lot of parents decided not to go because they didn't want to either see it or they didn't want to go explain it. Snoop apparently did not know that this was going to be part of the story. But again, what do I always say? Who's the target audience? Are the kids in the filmmakers?
No, the kids are the target audience, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't think kids should be talking about sex in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, you're not too alone in that one, Rick. But you know, quite a few people are like, "Hey, why is an 8-year-old being educated on anal sex in a book in a children's library at school? Why is that?"
Because that's the problem. They're not even being taught normal sex between a man and a woman anymore. They're being taught about homosexuality and sodomy and transgenderism and all that other stuff.
So I get why people are like, we got to ban books. It just gets crazy because they're like, this anime thing is obviously the same as this sodomy book. And no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's just weird because it's anime.
And then that's when all the people want to disingenuously be like, "Oh, dude, this is a free speech issue. I can't believe that they're doing stuff like. How are we allowing this to happen?" It's like this is the whole thing with like the flag argument and like, guy, we do this like literally every 5. This is why I'm so frustrated with politics. It's the same arguments over and over again. Every couple of years, somebody wants to burn the American flag, and then everyone all of a sudden is a free speech, First Amendment absolutist. And then whenever somebody goes against that, it's like, oh my God. Are you going to stand by and not defend free speech? And then a couple of years later, when somebody burns a pride flag or ruins some LGBTQ reputation, all of a sudden those people get arrested and charged, and
There's
no one
burn out on a rainbow sidewalk.
Yeah, and that guy gets charged with a crime, but no one's standing up and being like, "Oh, well, what about my First Amendment rights?" It's like, stop it.
Not make a gay cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And again, like it's one of these things that's always going to come down to my feelings tell me that the gay flag is an identity and the American flag is a nation. So when I burn that flag, I'm burning gay people. But when I burn the American flag, I'm burning Trump. It's totally different, okay?
Yeah. You could kind of expand that a bit.
Burning the gay flag is a hate crime, but burning the American flag is free speech. Learn the Constitution, bigots.
Don't you dare burn the Chinese flag.
You could extend that a bit. Let's say you burn the Israeli flag. That's great. You burn the Arab Palestinian flag. That's worse.
Burn the Quran and you might get stabbed.
That lady, that congresswoman in Texas did that with an Elon flamethrower.
I was saying with the Chinese flag or everything else, the Israeli flag, the U.S., the pride, it's all made in China, so you're all burning Chinese flags.
Yeah. Technically, yeah, you got me there.
Well,
who's China? You're China. No.
Yeah. What?
Speaking of that gay stuff, let's talk about Lil Nas X because this is another weird situation that happened a couple of days ago. So Lil Nas X, who is very open about who he sides with, and again, we're going to get back into the thing that, you know, people are going to pretend like, oh, he doesn't actually mean what he's saying, and oh, it's all part of some kind of shtick, and like, okay, fine, whatever, bro. So Lil Nas X, if you guys remember, had this big hit, Old Town Road, back in 2018, and that's kind of how he got his rise to stardom. He had a lot of young fan base at that time period, and he was like, oh, this is going to be the next new guy. Then the next thing you know, the next time we saw Lil Nas X, he was doing stuff like this. And this is his music video, and I use that term loosely, called J Christ, where he's in heaven dressed up as Jesus doing a lot of demonic. By the way, this is like his second demonic imagery video. There's like at least 3 of them so far, but you know, as you can see here, clearly
something.
I know, right? It's like he's trying to say something, yet he does this, and only a few people actually believe what he's doing. It's like
it's so weird.
It's so weird. It's almost like people are just purposely blind, right? But this is the whole.
Is it weird that I'm writing a story that's kind of like this, dealing with like heaven and hell and everything else, but it deals in wrestling at the same time?
It's possible.
That feels like that's very related.
Thank you.
So this is a video from a few months ago that made people think, okay, is this guy like losing it here? What's going on? He was in the hospital here back in like April, I want to say this was. And for some reason, he had some kind of belt with like Bell palsy, whatever the case was. No one actually, figured out what was the cause of it or anything. Was it drug related or shot related or anything going on here? But this is just him lined up in the hospital bed with half his face frozen.
Smile. This is me doing a full smile right now, by the way. It's like, what the fuck? Bro, I couldn't even laugh right, bro. What the fuck? Oh my God. So
they got Prince this way too. And MJ.
Justin Bieber not too long ago.
Oh my God, bro.
On the bright side, your Halloween costume's gonna be sick, dude.
So this was him apparently a couple of nights ago, walking down a street in Los Angeles in his tidy whities. People were driving by and was like, "Is that Lil Nas X?"
Cerebral palsy face still.
Did he leave a Peacemaker orgy as well?
In all honesty, Rick, and no one really wanted to say it, but considering the fact that it's LA, you honestly don't know where he just came from, right? Like the implication here is that he got high on drugs, stripped off all his clothes, and just walking down the street. It's like was he leaving some kind of a Diddy party behind closed doors that we didn't know about, that no one wants to talk about?
Diddy is free.
To the party tonight.
Where at?
You know where it's at. No, go ahead, babe. No.
The strut.
He's really ruining that reputation Blacks have, isn't he?
Yep.
What the fuck?
He looks like a hooker walking down the street.
Yeah, if you don't like an effeminate gay man walking down the street in his tidy whities, you're probably a bigot.
Okay,
but he's not naked. He's wearing boots.
This is Los Angeles.
What I don't understand is why is Ventura Avenue so empty even at 4 a.m?
That's like the real story here.
This is a Lindsay Lohan moment.
Now, of course, people were trying to say, "Oh, this is a publicity stunt. He's doing this for attention." Well, the problem is he got arrested, and now there's actual charges that are being set. He's currently in jail right now on a bond of I think like $75,000.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So
more than my annual income.
Yeah, if Ventura really is this like empty at night, I could see him randomly doing this.
Stop spreading nature's pocket. Ugh.
Feel free to come to your own conclusion of what exactly is happening here. If it's drug overdose, if this is demon possession, if this is just being gay on a Friday night in Los Angeles, make your own conclusion there. Draw your own conclusion.
I wouldn't believe that if this was West Hollywood, but I don't know the geography of Los Angeles.
So this is him in jail.
His face is numb for a completely different reason.
It's like a family reunion. So this is him in jail. All smiles.
Well, I guess Ventura,
he should be happy there, right? Like he should be super happy behind bars, right?
He doesn't get to shoot.
But he only half smile now, so
that's not the only half thing. Ba-da-bum.
Can't believe I'm recovering. Can't believe I'm accepting the repercussions of my own actions.
That is.
All of a sudden, you just hear like the Who's Balarati playing in the background. So yeah, he's being listed off charges. Bail was set at $75,000. This was yesterday. So, like I said, he's still actively in there right now. So, a lot of people are questioning what's happening there. A lot of people have also questioned, this is a guy who has openly and repeatedly mocked Christ over the course of his entertainment career. And now all of a sudden, it seems like over the course of the last calendar year, his life is falling apart. Like I said, that whole Jesus Christ video that he did, that was something he released last year. And now everything seems to be falling apart. here. This is his other satanic music video that he did before that one.
There's another
where
one.
where he's grinding on a guy dressed as the devil and whatnot. So it's almost like he's not hiding who he is in any way, shape, or form, right?
But the
Why would
curious
he?
thing is that I think his father said, "Oh, we should keep him in our prayers." It's like, well, I don't believe he wants people's prayers. It doesn't look like he really. I mean, what were you teaching him, Dad?
Whose prayers are we sending him? Who's exactly is this individual here praying to? I would love to know.
I think this man's a real Christian if you think about it, because here he is farting in Satan's face. And fucking trying to give him those Chun-Li leg kicks.
Yep, so that's what's going on with Lil Nas X. Only thing I have to contribute to this is that, Bible said God will not be mocked. And I guess some people will find out their lessons the hard way. But as far as his actual charges go, he has 3 counts of battery on a police officer. So when the police actually did show up to arrest him, he fought a cop, and that's obviously
Ezra
smart.
Miller.
Yeah, he also has a felony account of resisting arrest. So apparently, the whole him walking down the street naked thing was one aspect of it. When the police finally came to arrest him, he didn't fought off the cops, and now they're charging him with fighting the cops. So it's like
I want that body cam footage so much.
Did the cops know where the party was at?
I'm pretty sure they do. I mean, they got to find the people who run away and like scream for help. So they got to know where the parties are happening so they can cover it up, right?
That strut was bizarre. I mean, it made me think of some sort of crazed hooker just walking down the street, like and then walking around.
He was walking around like basically every gay, effeminate man in West Hollywood does at a daily basis. I mean, that's essentially what it is.
Butt plug
I'm sorry, I've never been there.
Like he's just some guy who just walked out of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Wow.
Walked out of RuPaul's
You know what the
house.
worst part is? The worst part is that this is probably gonna, because he is that kind of, he is a savvy businessman in that way, He's probably gonna try to turn this around and be all Kanye about it, and be like, I went to jail and I changed my life and everything else, and he'll probably ride that train on it too.
In all honesty, with everything else he's done so far, he might as well just go all in and blame the Jews. Why not? Say it was Netanyahu who did it. You might as well go for it at this point.
Maybe he just watched Lightyear and was just so inspired that he decided to.
That's what happened.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I don't know what more to say about this goof. Like I say, I just look at Hollywood and a lot of these stars these days, and it just blows my mind that some people just refuse to see what's directly in front of them. Because he's not the only one in Hollywood. You see it with so many celebrities where they're just outright blasphemous, outright celebrating Satan. They're parading their trans kids around like they're trophies or sacrifices for something bigger, and everyone just turns a blind eye to it. Like, oh, they're not really doing what they're clearly doing. It has to be something else. And the problem here is, like I said, these people aren't hiding who they are. They're making it very, very clear who they are. The problem is that if you accept who they are and who they serve, then you also have to come to the conclusion that, guess what? The devil is real and God's real. And then that's the problem that keeps people from accepting what's really going on here, because they don't want to come to a point where they have to accept that God is actually real and that they're actually wrong. So it's easier for them to cope with this made up reality that, oh, it's just about attention and sales, and they're just trying to get a rise out of you. They're just trolling you. That's all they're really doing, is because it's easier for them to accept the fact that, no, there's actually an active battle between good and evil happening, and you're on the wrong side. That's all really right. Just what it comes down to.
Even if I were to accept that idea,
which you should,
which is just trolling and it's just for publicity.
Mm-hmm.
Is your dignity worth that much? Because for time and eternity, you're going to have this video of you strutting down the street in just a little underwear and boots, talking about party and just being ridiculous, looking ridiculous. I don't think that I don't want to say sane person, but I don't think many people would be willing to humiliate themselves like this. Although, having seen a lot of clips of reality shows and all those Mr. Beast things, I can see people are more than willing to humiliate themselves for money. It's sad and disgraceful. But
that's what happens when money is your god.
That part is true. This is I don't feel much sympathy for this individual because he's brought this upon himself. At the same time, I don't want to say I take delight in seeing this, but for heaven's sakes, we should not be celebrating this kind of behavior.
What, the satanic behavior, or just him having the meltdown? Because it's like, to me, I just look at it like this: these people know who they're serving. They know the deal. Like, these aren't like people who are deceived into thinking, well, I didn't know that was evil. I didn't know that this was like, they know exactly what they're. You don't get to this point in the superstardom level without knowing exactly what you're doing. These people made their choice, so they're going to have to live quite literally with the consequences of their choice. And not only is it not going to end well in this life, but it's going to end even worse in the next one. And to the point you were mentioning there earlier too, the people who have to cope with like, oh, they're doing this for publicity, they're doing this for attention, this is all marketing. So by using that excuse, you're essentially having to admit that it is profitable in Hollywood to mock God and worship Satan. That is a profitable business plan in Hollywood by your own admission. If that's the logic that you're going to use to defend stuff like this, even then, that's not really helping your point at all. But that's essentially what you have to accept, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
absolutely.
So yeah, that's his whole story. We'll figure out what's going to happen with him. But like I said, a lot of guys have been going down recently. We've talked about the R. Kellys and the Diddy's and the whatnots, and then he's the next
maybe
one.
choose better wording.
Or maybe that's the perfect wording. Maybe that's the perfect wording.
Although, wait a minute. Wasn't Diddy found not guilty on certain things?
Well, he was guilty on a couple of charges, but not the big one. So he still has to be sentenced on the charges that he was actually put up for. So he may still end up doing maybe a year and a half in jail, but right. That's pretty much it.
A year served.
Yeah. So let's go over to the big story of basically the entire weekend. And it was this giant clusterfuck of what happened at this indie show last Saturday night. And this is taken... Yeah, let me be very, very clear here. I'm going to play some video here that's going to be very, very disturbing. So if you're prone to violence, you may want to look away at the time that I tell you to look away here. But this has been a big story everywhere in the pro wrestling world, in the MMA world. Mr. Beast commented on it yesterday. That's how big this story has gotten. It has been a huge black eye. I'm going to try to explain this to you as someone who knows a little bit about the pro wrestling world, and some of you guys from the outside may not get exactly what happened here. So here's the setup. Rampage Jackson, Quentin Rampage Jackson, is a famed MMA fighter. He was in Pride. He was in the UFC, former lightweight champion in both organizations. Very, very popular fighter. A lot of people know him. A lot of people like him. And he has a son, a 25-year-old son named Raja. I know he has other kids, but him and his son have been kick streamers for the course of, I guess, the last couple of years. And they're one of these IRL streamers where they go and find other people to stream with. They go out, in bars and nightclubs and whatnot. And Rampage's whole thing is basically trying to pick up girls and making fun of his son. That's literally all the content of his gig is. So his son also has a kick stream where he does a similar thing. Somehow he ended up in, I believe this is Los Angeles. He ended up in LA at a school run by former WWE superstar Rikishi. So Rikishi has this school. I can't remember the exact name of it. It was like Rec Pro or something like that. Do you remember the exact name? Nox Pro, thank you. Nox Pro is the name of the school. The school was affiliated with WWE and their ID program. We'll get to that here later on. But essentially the setup here is that Raja shows up with his camera crew on Kick and then starts talking to the wrestlers who are backstage at this indie show. The guy who you see here with his shirt off over here, this is the guy that's basically the center of this entire incident here. His name is Stucco Stu. That's his wrestling name. Psycho Stu.
Psycho.
Yeah, that seems weird. Stucco Stu, but no, it's actually Psycho Stu. Yeah.
He's shit on the ceiling.
Stucco
I don't
Stu.
know. I don't know.
Oh, dude, I'm bringing that one to the fucking meeting. Oh man, especially with the flea market background and everything. This is something else.
You can have that one for free.
Schools. You get a free beer, baby.
So what happened here is that Stu sees Rampage Kid and the camera crew, and assuming, my guess is that he probably thought that this was something that was being filmed for some other project. Like I said, this was a WWE affiliated school at the time, so perhaps he thought that, they were filming something. So he tries to get in character as a wrestler and kind of mixes it up with Rampage's Kid, who is not a wrestler at all. He's a trained MMA fighter. He's basically an amateur. He's only had like one amateur fight in his career, but he is a trained fighter. Right, so he mixes it up with him, and the course of this whole thing throws a gimmicked beer can at him, right? And everyone's kind of like staggering around, like, because Rampage's Kid doesn't sell it at all. Like, he just kind of like, what the fuck are you doing? And there was like confusion there. Someone later smartened him up, saying that, hey, his kid's not a wrestler, this isn't part of a work and whatnot. So the guy legitimately felt bad and apologized to him. Apologized, and they shook hands like twice. I'll show you all this in the video. I'm just kind of setting this up for you. And then that was seemingly the end of it at that point. The promoter, whoever the hell the promoter of this event was, decided, hey, let's get Jackson's Kid involved in the finish of one of Stu's matches. So it's like, yeah, you come out and interfere at the end of the match and get your receipt. And for those of you guys who don't know what a receipt is, basically it's a little worked payback in the realms of a wrestling ring. Basically, if you're wrestling somebody and they go a little too hard on you, get a little too rough with you, you stiff them back. So they stiffed you, you stiff them back. That's essentially what a receipt is. Again, Rampage's Kid, who's not a wrestler, has no fucking idea what a receipt is, thought, oh, okay, I'll just get payback. And then this happened. So I'm going to show you the incident leading up to it and then the incident itself.
Know me? Can I play Secrets of Wrestling here for a little bit, like as it's going on?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So he grabs a beer can, cluck. All right, pause it for a sec.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone believes that this guy, Psycho Stu, decided to hit this guy over the head with a beer can for no fucking reason. Yeah. First off, when you're a wrestler and you see a camera, you're turning on your character. That's your bit. I can understand Raja not understanding that. Fine. When everyone's like, he hit him with a beer can. So in wrestling, what you do is you don't actually hit anyone with the can. I'm going to break kayfabe here. I'm going to fucking give you the secrets of the ring. I'm going to promote my own stunt granny, everything. What you do is you put the beer all the way inside the palm of your hand. And as you look at Stu's hand, it's huge. So you put your thumb over the entire thing, like you're palming the whole thing. And when you give the guy the clock with the can, you hit him with your thumb. You don't hit him with the can. So the can never touched this guy's head. Stu essentially just bumped his thumb against this guy's head. And Stu can throw a hell of a punch. So this idiot thought it was real, apparently.
Yeah. So you see here, he gets in his face, and everyone's kind of like confused, like, because he thought that he was going to react to it, not realizing this guy was never a wrestler. This is actually a point that I'll get to later on when we unpack this thing here.
He's not a fucking worker, bro. Calm down.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
You don't sell it?
That was wrong to Stu. That's the only thing that Stu did wrong.
Hold on. I don't play that shit, bro. I will fuck him up, bro.
I know you will. We're good.
I will fuck him up, bro.
All right, now that's the promoter right there, the old man here. This is Rikishi's cousin.
I will fuck him up, bro. I know you will.
So this is kind of where the point where they realize that he's not a wrestler, this wasn't a work, and that he made a mistake here, right? So you kind of start the realization starting to hit people's faces when this is happening right here.
I appreciate it.
So again, when everything cooled down, he apologized, said, hey, look, I made a mistake. I didn't know who you were. Like, my bad, right?
Okay, Psycho Stu's it's all apologies. I thought you were working.
He tells him, it's like, hey, I saw the camera. I thought you were part of the thing. I didn't know.
Come out on your matches. I know you keep thinking we're working. We're always working. I get it. Yeah. I get it now. Now you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're always
He gets it now. He understands that they're always working.
I'll have them come out during your match so we could fucking seal the whole thing and we'll make something out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tell you guys.
So literally heard him say it there. It's like, hey, we'll have him come out during your match. We'll seal the whole thing and make something out of it, right? So where this progressed is that later on that night during the show, they originally planned to have Raja, Jackson's kid, come out during the match, get involved somehow. Now, this is where it starts getting fuzzy because there is another video, which I'll play in a little bit, about another guy basically coaching him up, telling him, yeah, you go out there, you get your receipt, you lay it in. And if anyone says anything, all got your back and whatnot, right? So this is where the gray area is because it's not exactly clear what Rampage was told to do, what his son was told to do in the course of this thing. Was he only told to slam him, punch him a few times, whatever the key is? This is what ended up happening, and this is what caused the entire situation. By the way, this is very violent, so if you don't want to watch it, just turn away for a bit, but this is exactly what happened.
This is what he thought a receipt was.
Just leave.
Yeah.
Pull me off of him, we'll leave. I'm telling you.
By the way, he's literally on live with his chat telling people beforehand that he's going to hit this guy for real.
He's planning the murder.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit him as many times as I can. Watch.
I'm gonna hit him as many times as I can.
For real. Yeah, they allowed me to hit him for real.
They allowed me to hit him for real.
If he hits me back for real, I don't give a fuck. I want him to.
I want him to.
So this is what happens. That he was given some kind of cue, and he jumps into the ring. Now Stu is thinking something's going to happen, but not what actually did happen.
Tackle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now hold.
Yeah. So he's not a trained wrestler at all. He doesn't know how to do any kind of slam properly that doesn't hurt his opponent. So he gives him a straight up Olympic MMA slam, just like they do in MMA, slams him onto the back of his head and knocks him out instantly. Now, that's bad enough. At this point, you can say, hey, look, kid fucked up. He shouldn't have been there in the first place. This is what happens when you have untrained people in the ring. Stuff like this happens. And then this is what he decides to do afterwards.
He just fucking fuck. Look at that. I hate this. Mm-hmm. Good. Finally, someone stops it.
Yeah. So there's Stu's lifeless body literally laying there on the mat. What happens after here is that a couple of the wrestlers finally realize that, hey, something's gone wrong here. This isn't part of the show. And it took like literally the entire locker room to pull him off him. First of all, I'll just say this. It's kind of pathetic. We talk about indie wrestling and the type of wrestlers that are in the business these days. I can't imagine anyone getting away with something like this in any wrestling locker room 20, 30 years ago. I just can't. The fact that his son was literally allowed to walk out of the building on his own feet and then walk out and then nothing happened to him after he literally almost straight up murdered a guy in the ring. One of the boys almost physically killed that guy and it was able to just walk out of the building on his own two power and walk down the street. So then this is what happens. He goes on, he's still on Kick. All of this is live on Kick, live on his little stream. He then leaves the building, walks down the street. He has Stu's blood all over his shirt, walks down the street, and then begins to crash out because, he's sick of people bullying him and messing with him. Now, keep in mind, when he's talking about people bullying him and messing with him, he's talking about his dad. He's talking about Rampage.
He's talking about the 12-year-olds in his chat.
Real shit.
Yeah.
One of them was a bitch and fucking bit me. I'm tired of everybody fucking playing and shit. I'm always playing and shit. Call me bitch and shit. Not no fucking bitch, bro. At the end of the day, I'm gonna stand up for my fucking self because I'm tired of everybody fucking playing with me, bro. Real shit.
So now he has to get all mad and puff his chest out and let everyone know that he's sick and tired of being treated this way, man.
Told those 12-year-olds on the internet what for.
Yeah. So here, a couple of the wrestlers from the show chase him down and try to start something with him, but it doesn't escalate any further than this. But this is eventually what happened here.
Come on, man.
Hey, Nate, man, let me get your viral moment. Let me get my viral moment.
Come on, Roger. Let's go. Let's go, Roger. Let's go. Roger, let's go. Roger, I'm telling you, let's go. You listen to me. Listen to me, Roger. You need to listen to me right now, Roger.
I don't give a
Let's go.
I don't care.
I don't give a fuck. You guys trying to jump me and shit.
Let's go.
You ain't gonna do shit to me, bro.
Let's go,
you can't do shit to me. You can't fuck with me, bro.
Let's go.
You can't fuck
Crying,
with
you
me.
bitch.
Yeah. So he goes, has a meltdown. What happens afterwards is that they end up going a couple blocks away from where the venue was. He's on the phone with either a friend or a manager or whatever. Lawyer too. Literally telling him, and then the lawyer even says at one point, it's like, dude flatlined in the ring. We come to find out after the fact that Stu was out for minutes afterwards and didn't regain full consciousness until nearly 2 days after it happened. He didn't regain full consciousness until Monday. This happened on Saturday night. So
the luckiest thing that happened to him is that slam probably knocked him out because his head bounced out at least 8 inches off the mat.
Yeah.
From that slam. So the luckiest thing he has is that he probably got knocked out with the slam.
Yeah.
So he didn't feel any of the punches.
So as all this happened, Rampage was doing a stream somewhere else, I guess in the city, with Sneeko of all people.
What the fuck?
Exactly. And literally is told about what happened live while he was on air, and basically said that he hoped what had happened was a work and that his son really didn't do something stupid. And then he had to,
right?
Yeah.
Fake? Did they fake it?
And then when someone told him that, no, this is really bad, you need to like go check on him, then he left and ended his stream. So here's where kind of where the problem is this guy AJ Mana, who's a guy, I guess he's one of the guys in charge of this clown show promotion that he's doing here. Here's the video, and people are asking, go ahead.
He's the one that brought this guy in. He's the best friend of Rampage.
Yeah.
And how this guy got in. At the beginning I didn't know how this guy got in. I thought he was just some bum fan. No, apparently it's this guy. He's the one that came in.
Yeah. So keep in mind, this is, people are asking, well, how come he hasn't been arrested yet? How come he hasn't been arrested yet? I can tell you very, very clearly why he hasn't been arrested yet, because of this video. And not only that, they're trying to figure out not only if they're going to arrest Jackson, but if he's the only one who needs to be arrested from this. Because now there's even talks about, was Stu essentially set up from the beginning, right? Did somebody tell Stu to get into Jackson's face in the first place with the whole incident outside, knowing that they were going to work something later on to basically set him up to get beat down? So people are literally arguing, was he set up for this very moment? Now, this is the video that also went viral here.
Working like that, you don't fucking, you know, that's what I'm saying. So, you know,
shut up, stupid.
Fucking idiot. Hey. So when you run in on his shit, you fucking give him his receipt. Remember what a receipt is. Give him that
fucking
receipt,
bum.
don't tag his shit. If you got a fucking problem,
Hey, look, he has a fucking military emblem also. So he's with the military setting up his own, because we didn't tell you all. Apparently Psycho Stu is a military veteran who got into pro wrestling because of PTSD, to level out his PTSD, something I understand. Because that's why I got into pro wrestling, to level out my PTSD. So I'd like to point out that this guy is a veteran, a legit fucking hero, and his own fucking whatever military rank this is, douchebag, I guess, he's fucking setting him up for a fucking beatdown that he's never gonna fucking, maybe possibly never recover from, or he recovered from but may never fucking deal with again. Sorry,
keep in mind here, a lot of people are pissed off by this, and it's not just people in the wrestling community. People in the MMA community are pissed off about this. A lot of people are talking about this. So far, the only dumbass take about this that I've heard thus far is from Mark Henry and Chael Sonnen. Like, they're the only ones that I've heard, because with Chael, it at least makes more sense that Chael is actually friends with Rampage, so he's trying to go at bat for his son. It's still a dumbass take, but at least I get it. Mark Henry is just an idiot. Like, there's just no other way about it here. But so this whole thing went viral. There's a lot of talk going on here. As a result of this whole situation, WWE immediately cut ties with Rikishi's school. Basically told Rikishi, hey, take off all of our emblems out of your school. Get rid of our logo off of your social medias. It's like, we're done here. We're not endorsing your school anymore. They took his school off of their WWE ID program. So I think the only schools that they have officially endorsed is the Seth Rollins school, the Cody Rhodes school, and the Booker T school. And that's it. Like, they've gotten rid of all affiliation with him here. Now there's obviously talks about the LAPD investigating this. And I'm guessing that they're trying to figure out how many people are going to be placed charges here. And apparently behind closed doors, the people behind Rikishi's school, whatever the case is, they're essentially trying to cover up what's happening here or try to smooth things over behind the scenes. So I don't know exactly how they're going to try to work their way around this.
No, they're not setting things up now. Okay, now this is what I was talking. Now, for what it is, this is what I was talking about last week. I know I was a fucking bum last week trying to explain all this, but this is what I was talking about last week. When you have a promotion, an indie promotion, who's based out of Los Angeles. Los Angeles is not the East. In the East, you're trying to build a promotion that's trying to draw some wrestling fans. In the West, you're trying to build a wrestling promotion to get Hollywood involved. That's the reason why they have a promotion out here with Rikishi, is because he's connected to Hollywood through the Samoan thing. And now he's trying to get a connection through Samoa through fucking Roman Reigns and the Uso brothers. So it's a whole tentacled network of things going on here. And this is what I meant by like these fucking mark idiots that get into wrestling right now don't know how to fucking even do a lockup or a tie-up to fucking save their friend from fucking almost attempted murder. I
on TV, bro.
Exactly.
Why he live streamed the entire thing? It's like he literally gave the cops all the evidence that they need to bring forth charges, because the whole thing was streamed live on Kick. The whole thing.
Like the kid that crashed his car, and then his friend who was bleeding from the face got to hold the camera while he walked through the accident.
There's literal, like I said, we played it. He's talking about how he's going to beat the hell out of this guy. He's talking about how he's going to beat the hell out of this guy before he actually did it.
It's his dream. He literally said, "It's my dream to beat the shit out of a pro wrestler." Out of a pro wrestler, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Out of a pro wrestler, a guy who legitimately is going to let you beat him up. He's going to give you his body for you're going to legitimately beat him up when he hands it to you? Watch the clip again where he gives the slam. He holds and fucking buckles in. Psycho Sid, he buckles in. He thought it was going to be a fucking move. You're going to take care of him at least. What the fuck?
And that's the problem. Like I said, he's not... I'll address this here in a second. But this is one of the wrestlers at the event where this whole thing happened. He was the one who like really got between and basically saved Stu's life. I mean, really did. And now he's basically saying that, the promoters, which is basically Rikishi's family, is trying to discourage any of the wrestlers from talking to the cops because they're trying to. Yeah, exactly. They're trying to cover it up by behind closed doors. First of all,
like he did with Jimmy Snuka and the other fucking part of this family.
Yeah, right. But that's another thing we'll talk about here too, because there's a dirty little secret here about the Samoan family that rarely anyone talks about. But you realize that Rikishi and his family, especially when you talk about, in the Bay Area and the LA, they're all tied to the Samoan Bloods. Like all of them. Like they all have real gang affiliation. It doesn't get talked about in public, but if you see them out in private, you know exactly who they're associated with. So there's an extra layer of this story going on here that even the headlines aren't really talking about. But this is basically the wrestler here talking about them trying to cover it up behind closed doors.
When we're in the ring and I'm breaking it up and he shoots a fucking double leg on me, by the way, work a better fucking double leg, you prick. And then I'm telling you to fucking calm down. I'm not even fucking fighting. I'm not even being fucking hostile. Then you're trying to fucking work and get lower, do this, change positions, and I'm over here having to swim with you, all this other shit. And then you fucking punch me in the fucking eye. After we're breaking it up, you fucking loser. That's why you got fucking headbutt, and that's why I fucking punch you, and you're fucking lucky I was tired from the match before this. What kind of fucking person are you? You fucking low-life fucking clown. You want fucking clout, so you beat up a guy that's fucking half unconscious. You punch a guy that's trying to break up a fight and not even trying to fight you. I wasn't even trying to fucking hurt you. The fuck is wrong with you?
So, do you think he wanted to continue beating up Stu?
I think he would have killed him.
If you didn't stop it, right?
I promise you he would have killed him. He would have killed me if he would have got the best of me. If he would have took my legs out from under me like he was trying to, he was going to do the same thing to me that he did to Stu. Clearly, you watch the stream when he's walking away. I'm tired of people fucking with me. I don't care how many times you've been fingered in your life, bro. I don't give a fuck. If you got a fucking problem with the fucking world and the people around you, change the fucking people around you. Change it up a little bit. Go to therapy. Get some fucking help. Don't take it out on everybody else. And then you want to train by one of the best fighters to ever fucking live, your fucking father, use his fucking clout, use his fucking knowledge, and then you want to hurt people that don't fucking train like that? You're a fucking bully. You're a bitch. Fuck you.
So, pretty strongly there, I don't think anyone disagrees. Now, this is the other video here talking about essentially the internal cover-up with the Fatu family.
This is what I'm talking about, this fucking Kool-Aid that these indie wrestlers fucking drink. And it has to do with all of this shit. It's idiots drinking the idiot Kool-Aid to make them fucking follow rules that are going to get wrestling is dead because of this. It's going to be gone pretty soon. It's going to go the way of the circus because of fucking incidents like this. So, and now
I will say this. I would say just real quick here too. Vince Russo brought up a great point, and we don't know what the actual fallout of this is going to be, whether they're going to be able to cover this up or not, or if this is going to turn into a big thing. But if this does turn out to be a big thing, this is exactly the type of instant that is needed for athletic commissions to start trying to regulate pro wrestling again, especially the indies, because of stuff like this. But let me play this real quick.
It's dead.
Yeah.
The most disgusting thing is that people at this school are being encouraged to not cooperate with the police. From what I hear, the police were there investigating the scene shortly after Stu was removed, and there has been multiple requests that have gone downstream from upper management to not talk with the police directly if they are contacted, and to only let a certain group of individuals interact with the police. That is extremely dishonest. You guys let your friend almost die, and now you're trying to have people lie for you. And fuck you to every single person who replied to them, yes, sir. You are all weak sacks of shit, and I hope you rot in hell. You are wasting oxygen that other people could be breathing.
Yep. So this is the whole situation unpacked here. So first of all, an update on Stu is that apparently he's awake now. He basically suffered several broken teeth, obviously a concussion, so that's no surprise there. So we don't know the full extent of all his damages, but obviously he's an indie wrestler.
He's a broken face.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's an indie wrestler. They don't get paid a lot of money anyway. The one thing that I will say about stuff like this, and we talk about how scummy the wrestling business can be, and this is a perfect example of that. At the same time, when shit like this does happen, the industry does come back to back up their own. I believe he's already made like $60,000 on his GoFundMe. Guys like Jericho and Rusev and a few other people have already donated to him. So I do believe that, though, if he does kick out of this and he recovers, the industry is going to take care of him. That's the good thing about this. The bad thing is that when you look at what happened Saturday night, this is a series of L's from all people around here. Obviously, 100% this goes on Rampage's kid. He's having some kind of emotional breakdown because his dad bullies him and is hard on him and all this stuff. It's like, you need to go work that out with your fucking dad. Like, you need to go knock out your dad like you knocked out Stu, if it means that much to you. Instead of holding on all that pent-up aggression and rage and trying to put it on people who don't deserve it, go hit your father if it means that much to you. That's the first thing. The second thing, I don't know who in the hell thought that this was a good idea to put this untrained kid in the ring. Like, the guy has no concept of professional wrestling whatsoever. It's not a guy who trains part-time, who understands the lingo of the business. You just threw literally a pit bull in the middle of the ring and then somehow was completely shocked when this happened. Everyone involved in this should be fired, like, immediately. They should be blacklisted from the industry immediately. And the only reason why they wouldn't be is because they're directly tied to the person whose promotion this is, who is Rikishi. Now, to be fair to him in this aspect, Rikishi was not there when this took place, but let's be honest, he was the one who put the people in charge to run his promotion when he's not there, and then this shit happened. So this is going to fall back on him. He obviously is not saying anything. Like I said, there's a lot of legal repercussions with this whole story, so everyone's trying to keep hush-hush at the moment. We'll see how far that goes. Jackson, I mean, look, you can get mad at Rampage's statement. At the end of the day, he's trying to defend his son. I get it from that aspect, but at the same time, your kid is like this because of you. It's like you're literally the guy going around here, 50 years old, trying to hit up, 20-year-old OnlyFans models with your son and stuff like that. It's like, you're the reason why this happened. Like, straight up, like, your relationship with your son is what caused this. So you probably deserve more blame than anybody else here. And then all the people involved with this entire clusterfuck, like, there's not enough idiot cards to hand out for this whole situation happening the way that it did. So, Eddie, I'll let you give some more thoughts here about what happened with this whole situation, and I'll go to Cider and Rick here.
Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. I already said yesterday I did a wrestling stream about the whole incident. I already said a lot of the things that I wanted to say about the Raja situation. Mm-hmm. But it's a sad thing that there were people like it was a sad thing that there were people on the internet that were saying this is fake. This is all fake. No, you don't understand. This is an angle. You don't understand. This is how wrestling works. This is how you get over. This is paying your dues. Mm-hmm. This is catching receipts. I want everybody who isn't affiliated with pro wrestling to shut up with the lingo and the definitions and the shit that you don't fucking understand.
This was a work, bro.
It's really fucking annoying that we have a man who literally got his face caved in like the Hulk did to fucking Loki. All right, if I gotta put it in comic book terms so nerds on the IWC can understand, I'm just trying to say that we have a legitimate man who got his face busted up just because a complete word expletive fucking went out and did business for himself and intentionally wanted to do it. This is attempted murder. Yeah. And let's just say that the only reason why nobody punched this guy, nobody took a fucking baseball bat to this guy's head, no one took a chair, put him through a table, none of that shit, is because we know that Rampage would say, guess what they did to my kid? Look what they did to my boy. I don't care anymore about what happens to Rampage's boy. Raja needs to learn a fucking lesson, and I hope that he spends the rest of his life being live streamed 24/7 with a fucking orange vest on, walking the fucking hallways of a jail cell. This bum needs to be put away, and he's not even an amateur fighter because he's still 0-1. So he's even a bum when it comes to the shit his dad fucking was good at. So I hope that we get some real retribution and we get some real fucking cost of this. I don't want to hope that everybody's getting a payday out of this because I know the wrestling world, how it works. I hope nobody's trying to get a payday out of this. I hope we get some real justice in this whole thing because if this happened in Disneyland, nobody would be laughing about this. Nobody would be saying that this is fake. If this happened in fucking Disneyland and they beat up fucking Gaston or some shit.
Like I said, these people who are trying to say that this is fake, this is something that I've generally gotten really irritated with pro wrestling, just over actual pro wrestling angles. This whole thing of, oh no, I think that this is a work because I'm a smart mark and I want to pretend like that I'm smarter than the company, so I'm not going to pretend like I'm getting work, but then you find out it was clearly not a work, so you're just an idiot because you're trying to defend something that wasn't a work to begin with. These are normies.
And these bums have never seen a real fight, so they don't know what to work or what to fucking shoot or whatever.
Exactly.
This is a beatdown. This is a mugging.
Yeah, They don't actually watch MMA and boxing or street fights for that matter to know a difference between a worked fight and a shoot fight. All they watch is pro wrestling. And then you have other people who probably haven't watched wrestling in like 30 years who just hear the word pro wrestling and assume that everything's fake. So they're talking about, oh, this is fake. This is what they do in pro wrestling. This isn't real. Like, literally, the fucking LAPD are investigating this right now, trying to file charges against a horde of people who are involved in this whole situation, right? And like I said, this whole thing can be. I'm not saying that, Rampage's kid doesn't deserve any blame for this, because obviously this is all on him. But like I said, Rampage as a father is the reason why all this happened. Like, he's the one who basically shook up the powder keg before it exploded. Because like I said, when he's not, beating indie wrestlers half to death, this is what Rampage is doing with his son. This is what he thinks a good upbringing is.
Oh, god damn, where you get them shorts from?
Amazon. Wow.
Yeah, this is the reason why he has dividends. He put money in stock on his kid's jail cell.
Yeah.
This is why he pays dividends on that right now. You see, I don't really pay attention to my son. I actually just give him everything that he wants, but he's so man.
Yeah. Here's another one here.
It's famous.
Oh my god, it's girls. I got girls.
My son is famous. His name is Roger.
My son is famous. He's my son.
Yeah. He's really famous. How old are you ladies? 16. Oh, goddamn. What, 16?
Goddamn. No, the next time, Dad, I'll slam them and then they won't remember they're 16.
My bad, son. I didn't mean to get you caught up like that. Hey, you can't tell with Asians. You can't tell with Asians. I didn't know.
Look at him. He's pissed off that they're 16. He's like, damn it, I wanted to hug somebody today.
And let's be honest, if the camera wasn't on him, he probably still would have went for it.
Right, I guarantee. Oh, you're 16. How old is that?
Hey, his name is Roger.
Wait, hold on.
Ugh. Look at her. She's like, get away from me.
Oh, my God. Oh, my. Hey, bro, 16-year-old girls looking like they're 18 and 20.
I know, it's fucked up.
What the fuck is going on?
This generation's cooked.
What the fuck? It's the hormones in the food.
Yeah, so that's what he's doing with his son.
Thank God for RFK.
Mm-hmm.
We're never going to have those hormones in the food ever again. He's not going to get horny off of 16-year-olds ever again. He's just going to be treated like a 16-year-old in his fucking cell.
Cider, do you have anything what's your thoughts on this whole story?
I'm white. So,
you identify with psychos too?
Well, see, usually rather than beating a man to death in the middle of a ring, we just explode and shoot up a school. So, I mean, equal opposites, I guess. I don't know. But the problem we have, as you said, is childhood abuse. And I don't really have anything to add to that. It's the same results. The reason why kids shoot up schools, the same reason why this guy went nuts. It's all just don't treat your kids like shit. It's super easy. Don't take your son cruising for women. It does things to them, okay? It screws up your kids. If you want to introduce your son to, this is a woman, you should appreciate what she is. Feel free. But don't go around and be like, hey, I'm my son's wingman. If I happen to score better than him, great. We're going to keep tally tonight. That you're gonna create a serial killer. That's how you make a serial killer. Right.
He almost very much created a murderer.
He still might. He still might.
Making up a murderer.
He's just pissed at the 16-year-old who'd rather go with the 12-year-olds in his chat.
I find that whole concept of your dad being your wingman as you try to pick up underage girls rather grotesque, just separate from everything else. I don't know if I have much to add, only that I don't follow wrestling and I don't know a lot of the people that you are talking about. But I can say that the Psycho Stu was blindsided, set up. This is very, very grotesque, and I think any criminal charges should not just go to Raja for the actual assault. It should go to the person who was encouraging him to do this. I think he could be charged as an accessory, because I don't know if there would have been this kind of incident. Based on what I see and what I've been shown, and with very limited knowledge, it looked like maybe they, everything was fine, and maybe they were going to set up some sort of stage thing, but he was encouraged to go after someone who was completely blindsided and attacked in front of people, in front of a paying audience, who probably had no idea what was going on.
In front of his mother.
Yes. I mean, they weren't...
No, literally, his mother was in the crowd when this happened.
But I mean, think about it. All of these people who were there were not aware. They weren't on live stream or whatever. They were not watching. They were watching the match. They weren't paying attention to all of this. And for Raja to go up there and just do something that Psycho Stu was not prepared for, because that's the thing. You could say, yes, wrestling is fake, is staged. I have no real pro or con on that idea, but they know the script and they follow it because it can be dangerous. This was not scripted, and for Raja to apparently come off and see himself as a victim, this is very bizarre. It's very distressing to see all this. It's very distressing, I presume, to the audience members who came close to seeing someone literally murdered in front of them. But I think that the person who was the manager, whoever, the one who was encouraging him to go up there, I think this person could also be charged as an accessory if the police decide to file any charges. As for the other wrestlers who have been told do not speak, that's a very toxic work environment where you're not allowed to talk about something that has been seen by the whole world. It's not a secret. This is not. They're not trying to hide something. The whole world has seen this. Non-wrestling fans have seen this. They're reporting about this on major news outlets. So for them to say, "Oh, don't say anything," or say that don't agree to talk to police, you have to talk to the police. When your police are asking for you, you could be considered also an accessory if you decide to hinder the investigation. If you decide...
Well, like I said, and there's another... real quick, there's another implication there. As I said, the Fatu family are also tied up in street gangs in the California area as well. There's probably a few skeletons that are in their closet right now that they don't want the police getting involved with.
That might not even involve that might be separate. That might be a separate investigation. Right now, the police are not going. I don't think they should be focusing on any sort of criminal activity that this school or their owners are doing. They should be focused on the investigation as to the actual assault. But for you, as an employer, to tell your employees, do not cooperate with the police when it comes to this case, that is... I'm not a lawyer, so just take this with a grain of salt. That could be very close to being hindering investigation, obstruction of justice. We are talking they're making it worse for them if they decide to do this. If they decide to tell their employees not to assist the police, not to talk to the police, that's something that their lawyers could tell them, but to prevent them from incriminating themselves. But to say as a witness, you cannot speak to the police. That we're getting into more dicey territory.
When civilized men like us, when civilized men tell everybody about what actual toxic masculinity is, it's this entire night. Mm-hmm. From the drinking from the can, to the setup, we're gonna fucking work a thing, to the whole incident happening down, to the runaway from your responsibility, to the I'm sorry, to the lawyer, to why was the cameraman filming it, the whole night, and then to the other end of we're gonna make this into a legitimate fucking cover up like you see on CSI. The whole thing is what civilized men say when we talk about toxic masculinity.
Yeah, and even Leslie was asking, does indie wrestling not have not good ones? No,
that was the worst thing. Watch the clip. You have this mime literally go I don't know what to do. He puts his hands out like I don't know what to do.
They're all part of the script. They're all part of the script.
The wrestling. The wrestling.
They're trying to pull him off. They're trying to pull him off, but this guy is just not strong enough to pull this guy off.
So that's okay. Two things here. Two things with that. Exactly. One is that there aren't any good refs. Now go back and watch like old clips of like Randy Anderson and even small frail Brian Hebner would have never allowed like shit like this to happen when fans jumping into the ring and stuff like that, right?
Cancer and took down people.
Exactly, right? And then a lot of the refs, the big thing in wrestling now is like, oh, we need to get female refs. We need to promote the female refs. It's like, what the fuck's a female ref going to do when Rampage Jackson about to kill someone in the ring? Like, what the fuck is this frail 115-pound woman going to do with a guy like that, right? And not only that, it's really just, when you look at indie wrestling as a whole, and wrestling in general now has generally gotten smaller. So the wrestlers that are in the ring outside of like a few guys who have been grandfathered in for like 15, 20 years are generally way smaller now than they were 20-something like years ago, right? It was very, very difficult to do something like this with the guys who were in the ring like back then. I had this conversation with somebody. I can't remember who it was. I think it was either Lisa Green or somebody else around that line. It's like, imagine trying to pull this off when the guys who were in the locker room at the time were guys like JBL and Hardcore Holly and Benoit and Guerrero and Taker and Brock and Angle. It's like, it would have been a very, very difficult to try to pull somebody, even a guy who's like Roger's size would have had a very different time. But the guys who you have,
Charles Robinson would have fucking jumped in the middle. 5'8" Charles Robinson would have fucking jumped in the middle of this and fucking know how to take the guy down. At least get in the way. At least fucking put your body over him. Oh, by the way, can we talk about the actual punchline to the entire thing? What? They're apparently in the middle of all this while they're doing the pull apart.
I saw it.
They're holding the guy back. They're holding this dumb back. This idiot decides that he's gonna, while Stu is laid out bloodied in the ring, this idiot in the promotion is gonna come out and pin him to get the fucking 1, 2, 3 count.
Dumb shit thought that it was all still part of the show. He's another guy who would be fired. Like he was another guy who probably wouldn't be working in any other indie promotion after this too. Because I saw that. And I told you what, you dump. They're literally trying to drag this guy out of the ring as we speak. All the wrestlers and the ref trying to drag this guy out of the ring. You think, oh, this would be a good part to get the pin in so I can end the match. No one cares about the match at this point, dumbass.
And then the best part, the referee is like actually dealing with the situation and looks down and then does the pin. What the fuck is this?
There's no situational awareness. There's no situational awareness with any of these wrestlers whatsoever. Keep in mind, I want you to make note of this, people in the indies, because if you actually do, by some miracle, work your way up to WWE or AEW or wherever the company exists in 3 years, that these idiots are going to be the people you share a ring with. Do you trust these people with your safety when you're in the ring for a match, for anything? And these are the type of shit these idiots do? This is the person you're trusting your safety with in a 20-minute match? Are you fucking kidding me? So this was apparently a few moments ago on Kick, because Rampage is still live streaming after all this. Like, you figure now is probably the time to lay low for a few days, but no, he's still on doing his IRL crap. So this is what he had to say about the whole incident.
You know, it's hard for me to talk about it, but you know, I'm just keeping 100. You know, I feel bad about what happened to Psycho Stu. I don't condone what my son did at all. Very, very unfortunate. If I was there, things went down, but you know what I'm saying, I wasn't there. I'm a father, so.
I gotta.
Oh, are you though? Like, are you really?
Have my son's back, but I'm gonna let justice, you know, play out, take its course. Ain't much I can do on that side, but be a father. Y'all know I can't talk about this shit. I can't talk about any details and stuff like that. I can't really go into nothing. I hope y'all can respect that. Put me in like a bad mood, you know what I'm saying? I feel bad about Psycho Stu and his family. His family had to see that shit, you know what I'm saying? And I just wish I could have been there, but I couldn't.
there's no guarantee that Rampage being there would have made the situation any better whatsoever, by the way.
It might have made it worse.
Shit is wild. Now, shit all over the internet. So, you know, I see a lot of people editing stupid shit for clickbaits and stuff like that.
Oh, they end the stupid shit, huh?
Yeah, that motherfucker Mr. Beast talking about paying that guy's family medical bills and shit.
That dummy.
You know, that's not fair.
You know what you should be doing right now? But nah.
You know, all this shit, you can't stop none of this.
Mr. Beast is literally giving Africa a cup of water, and now he's got to fucking pay off his medical bills that your son fucking put together.
A cup of water.
You piece of shit.
Share it among yourselves and be grateful.
Here's half a Gatorade. Drink that.
Whoa, he's got Prime. He's got Prime, dude. I'm surprised he's not dropping Prime off to him by like the Dumbo drop, you know?
Yep.
I'm not, you know, taking up for my son or anything like that. I'm just telling you guys facts, you know what I'm saying? But I'm doing what any father would do.
There's a lot of things you've done to your kid that many fathers wouldn't do. I think that's why we're in this situation right now.
He's like, at least the only reason why he has no answer for this is because he has two Japanese sons that are actually worth a damn. I can only hope that they become. I only hope that they are looked at as demon possessed and they get looked at as foreigners and they get kicked out of Japan when the fucking emperor comes back.
Like, what do you mean comes back? He's always been there.
Like, here's the problem, Rampage. Do you think that maybe perhaps the problem is that you going around chasing hoes rather than raising your kids could have led to this incident happening in the first place? Like, has that realization hit you that the way that you raised your son led to the events that happened that night?
No, are you racist? Right? Can't you see he's trying to pick up 16-year-olds at this bowling alley for some reason at 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Still a father. Hopefully one day I can meet Psycho Stu and shake.
I hope I can shake his hand.
Man to man with him and stuff like that, but who knows? But I'm just gonna try to like get back.
We're trying to get this girl naked over here, and then maybe try,
you know. Say, and I know whatever I say, the haters going to try to twist my words, and
I hate you. I hate you with a fucking passion, Rampage Jackson. I ain't used to. I thought you were a legitimate guy.
What went on at the same rate as.
By the way, you notice a lot of I in this whole situation?
As everybody else. Then I got down to the bottom of it, and I learned there's a lot of misinformation out there. So guys, don't believe.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how much misinformation there could be with the video.
Yeah, your stupid son decided to live stream the whole thing.
It's like there's more video evidence of this than the Rodney King incident. All thanks to your kid.
This isn't the Zapruder film, you fucking grape ape.
We have more video evidence of this than 9/11. All thanks to your kid. It's like there's really not much to investigate here.
God damn.
Rogers' conduct, and I hope Psycho Stu.
A second kick stream has hit the lawsuit, sir.
I hope he never heard of civil lawsuits, because I'm fucked if he does.
And, let's see what happens from here.
He's gonna Psycho Stu is gonna own your fucking houses.
I'm moving on.
Like I said, Rampage's kid's been kicked off of Kick for the obvious reasons, and Rampage himself should probably not stream his location to people for a little bit, because emotions are running high. And like I said, no matter which way you look at it, like I said, WWE cut their ties with the school. There's a lot of heat on Rikishi and his friends and his business dealings right now. And like I said, there's a lot of connections to some very shady and shifty Samoan people. So you probably don't want to be, in a place that people can easily identify and find you at this very moment. You may want to just ease up on the live streams there for a while. Streaming in your living room for a couple days.
I don't know if talking about all of this at the bowling alley is a good idea. It makes it look just like it makes it look more.
This is
bizarre.
the weirdest episode of Power Rangers, guys.
Yeah, right.
I'm just curious. Is that bowling alley anywhere near where Lil Nas X is going to be walking the streets?
Oh, is that where the party is?
That's where the party is.
Los Angeles is cursed territory. I don't know what more to say there.
It's all a movie set. They're all on the Universal set. 49.
You wait.
Like-
Some conspiracy theory about that will get confirmed. That Hollywood literally owns all of Los Angeles and has the rights to record everything, and they've had this massive library of crazy bullshit.
I wouldn't doubt it. Again, folks, if you work in Hollywood, release all that stuff. We want to see it.
All right, so this show has covered attempted murder and a alleged crazy man walking the streets practically naked. I mean,
so we've gone everywhere from 60-year-old possible pedophiles doing Superman movies, Robert Downey Jr. trying to play Doom at 70 years old, gay sexual deviants walking down the street in their underwear, Snoop Dogg having a conversation with his grandson, and attempted murder.
People in their underwear.
And John Cena filming gay orgies.
And John Cena literally being tricked into walking around in his underwear filming gay orgies, so that way he can't, figure out that his character is actually not supposed to do that.
And we ended the night literally where we started. We ended the night literally where we started with King Kong.
Maybe Lil Nas X will take over for John Cena and Peacemaker. I don't know. I mean, they both have this thing about walking around in their underwear.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a thing in Los Angeles or something. Isn't it weird just all this stuff revolves around LA? It's just weird. It's almost like someone's trying to tell us something and no one's
I'm
paying
sure
attention.
It's to tell us that Gavin Newsom's going to be the next president.
Absolutely.
He's going to run the U.S. like he runs California.
Yeah, like I said, one of these days, I just feel like God's just going to break the entirety of Southern California into the ocean and just be done with it at some point.
Break it off like a Kit Kat.
Yep, it's like that whole landmass was a mistake, so we're just gonna get rid of that entirely. So.
You know what we did to the dinosaurs?
God's all like, you need a break today. Snap.
Yeah, exactly.
Sodom and Gomorrah was practice run.
Oh yeah, I feel like something far worse is coming their way. So. Yeah, so that in the business we like to say we touched them all tonight. So I'll go ahead and give you.
I have a feeling that Lil Nas X has done that too.
I feel like a lot of people who we've talked about tonight has probably done that in more ways than one. So let's go ahead and sign people off here. Let's start with our good buddy Eddie. What do you got coming up?
Hi everyone. So this whole thing kind of triggered in me the idea of wanting to do live streams on wrestling again. So I restarted an old live stream that I used to do. So if you want to check out my X, I have that. I go into a lot more detail and I kind of point things out, secrets of the ring with this whole incident, and it's a lot more, let's say, candid. So yeah, check that out. X Eddie Brock YT. Have a good day.
Right. Rick, what do you got coming up?
I will be finishing up my Summer Under the Stars reviews as the month comes to a close. I posted my review for Sinners. I have some upcoming reviews, probably Relay, Nobody 2. So I'll just be publishing more reviews and continuing my Best Actress retrospective, trying to find the best and the worst winner for that category. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, there we go. Cider.
Power Rangers. It gets clicks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing about Los Angeles. They tell you it's the city of angels. They just don't tell you which angels they're talking about. So, very, very interesting there. What's going on here? So, I'm going to be busy the next couple of weeks because I'm planning for, unironically, a West Coast trip where I'll be going to both Vegas and San Diego. So
Vegas is my favorite coastal city.
And literally the only talk about Vegas right now is about how ridiculously expensive it is. So that's always what you want to hear right before you go there for a couple days,
terrible.
Right?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
But it is very empty, so you'll be able to enjoy it.
The Orleans is the best place to go.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, that's what I'll be doing here for the course of, the next couple of days. And so yeah, that's a thing that's going to happen there. So and then Sunday I got the Bible in, so we'll talk about that. I have a whole episode for that. And then I'm probably going to pre-record a couple episodes here in the next couple of weeks because I will be gone. I'll basically be in and out of airports between the 7th and the 14th, so I'll have to pre-record a couple episodes that will keep that whole thing going. But outside of that, yeah, we'll keep this show going next week. Same here, same time, same place. So thank you very much for joining us here. To all you lovely people in the chat, all the people who joined us here on YouTube and Rumble and X, thank you guys very much for joining us. Now we're going to get out of here. Adios, goodbye, and good night. As soon as I figure out which one of these buttons actually ends.
Okay.
Making your way through the daily grind takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to tune away? All those nights when you're feeling low, the rent is overdue, and your coffee maker's broken, your luck just seems to skew, and your boss is always on your case. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. Roll out of bed and you feel the dread. The morning's looking bleak, and your internet is down again. You haven't slept all week, and your car just broke down on the way. Be glad there's a place online where you can feel at ease. In the barroom, podcast friends, we share our thoughts and tease. Every story shared, every laugh so free. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. So here's to the moments we all hold dear. In this barroom of the airwaves with friends so near. Every story shared, every heartfelt cheer. It's more than just a podcast, it's where we steer.
I still don't feel like I know how to shoot these things.